All right, everyone, welcome to a game of 5th edition D&D with the Unnamed Adventurers Guild. We're going to be collecting one of the Chaos Shards that has been scried from a book about an old wizard who found it a long time ago, but he kept a journal for quite some time, but it stopped, and it said he was moving to Ice Lake, where he suddenly disappeared. The only thing that the journal references is that he was planning on building a hidden temple underneath, inside Ice Lake, but the journal itself doesn't actually confirm it, and none of the locals, at least from records inside the guild hall, records from the guild hall say it was never actually built, or at least no one saw it being built. So with that, we're going to introduce all the characters, starting from my left to right on the screen. So we're going to start with Caradoc.
As soon as I put food in my mouth, too.
Every time.
Every time. This is Eric. I'll be playing Caradoc, a level 9 Vergbog Circle of the Moon Druid. He spends a lot of times in his forms or conjuring, and he has a pet companion direwolf.
All right. Chapo.
Hey, Chapo. Playing Revjack. He is my level 14 Battle Master. Been playing him for a good while. He's also the one that's attuned to the Balance Blade. Basically, he's just a big Viking. And he just runs around and matches shit and does other stuff. That's about it.
All right. Javier.
Hello, everybody. I'm Javier, and I will be playing Oral Silver Smile, 15 level Paladin or follower of Thunder. That's, well, been known for quite some time as a defender of Illumina, and, well, has been focused of lately on his own training and building a temple to his deity that's actually close to completion, and given all the problems with the chaos magic, and now finally the stars having completed his training and becoming, a lot more muscular than before, and he has decided to put up some effort and try to contribute his grain of salt to dealing with this problem and finding the stars.
All right, and Chris.
Yeah, I'm playing Mist, who is at the Barbarian Road, who is very fast and have a mana velocity. And he is gonna bring his first mate, his bride, with him. Today, that is Sun and Dawn, is an earlier Cecily. Yep, that's me.
All right, and Eridan.
Hello, everybody. My name's Matthew, number 2. I'll be playing Eridan, who is a level 3 rogue, level 2 fighter, who's pretty good at archery, and dabbles with poisons every once in a while.
All right, and Adrian.
My name's Matt. I'm going to be playing Adrian, the co-archmage of Illumina. Being a wizard, he's interested in making sure the chaos gets sealed away forever.
At least until next time. Throak.
Brendan, I'll be playing Throak the Vexatious. He's a level 12 Abjuration Wizard, Mountain Dwarf, and getting kind of used to fighting for these shards now.
Excellent. So, as you guys know, I'll share the screen with you so you guys know. What the hell I'm talking about? Ah. So you guys are heading from Illumina through to Andoterian, through Heroes Pass, all the way up to the Misty Kingdoms, and to Ulba, which is the closest city to Ice Lake, besides Lomet, which is more of a fishing harbor, fishing town, that they actually have been struggling with recently. And so you guys are heading to Ulba, as they are the bigger of the two and probably have the most information to go with it. Though how you guys get there is entirely up to you. So you guys are all at the guild hall. You are all assembling yourselves and getting ready for this adventure.
Adri, teleportation circles up there?
Not. I know one in that general direction. It's on the. We would come out on the other side of the mountains, though. In the Arctic Circle, where the Frost Elves lives.
That would actually probably be further within Illumina.
How many days do you
that.
think it will take us to just like simply travel there on Lizardback or horseback?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So if you take a straight path, it'll take you about 17 days.
17 days just to go there.
Just to go one more.
Good damn it.
Is that already half?
Back, so
We can,
If
we can get back quick.
If it's halved, then you can get there in
8 days? 9.
9.
You need to learn to ride faster.
I did half it, and I had to do we would travel 2 hours more every day, so I can.
Well, you'd have to make everyone choose.
Yeah, but that is a part of the 8-hour sleep. So I had to sleep every 5 days, so that would be 7 days. Yeah.
Well, a
But
week is doable. Unless we have some better alternatives. Seems, I mean, it's an important mission, so even if it takes some time, I guess it's going to be worth it, even if we leave Illumina guarded for a bit. I hope no more elementals decide to rain from the sky for a while.
As long as people avoid touching the deck of many things.
I don't know why you say that.
So, just taking the straight route?
Yeah, I think that's going to be it. It seems to be the consensus. Anybody against the straight route?
I like to take the safest route, but yeah.
We can go the Arctic route, but
Doesn't really seem like we have better alternatives, so
I say we go south.
It's travel time.
I say we go south for 20 days and then cut back up.
What?
Well,
You go around the planet.
there is the fact that you have the 8 winds at your disposal, which is an
Yeah.
airship that belongs to Domia.
Is there airship here? Why is it here?
ours is here.
Yeah, Lumina also has one that the reconstruction is complete. So
Is that one that goes like? No, wait, that was an actual ship, not an airship.
Hmm.
Was that the ship that we kind of? Well, I wasn't there, but the one that we kind of grounded from the sky and then was under repair for a long time.
yeah.
Ah, okay.
We can also teleport to Domia and take the 8 winds.
So
how much
I would
time will
say
that take?
I would say the 8 Winds is faster, but is less defensible, as it's made of wood. But your ship is made of metal and is equipped for battle.
Of heavy metal.
So that's your choice. 3 options on the table so far. Caradoc, did you have something you wanted to add?
No, I mean I'll vote for the metal airship, but I don't have any other options to add, unfortunately.
I actually never gone into an airship, so I'm kind of curious, to be honest.
How fast is the airship going?
That's a good question. I would say Domia's airship could get there in about 5 days.
Oh, that's pretty fast.
Yeah, it's built for speed and travel. Though, like I said, it's not built for combat. The only defense it has is a crew of 6
But
on it.
and the metal airship, the
It's
one we
built
have
for
here,
war.
yeah, that one
It'll
will
probably
take
take 7 to 8 days, I would guess. If it's being compared to the Domia ship, then it'll probably take 8 days, I would guess.
Oh,
It's a lot heavier. It's got it's got a ballista, and it's got bombardment.
I mean, this is an important mission, so I kind of vote for the airship, for the war one.
Plus,
Well, the timeline ends up being the same because if we take, 2 weeks to get there in the airship or without the airship, we were going to teleportation circle back. So it ends up being the same amount of time.
Oh,
If we go on the airship, then we obviously have to take the airship back.
well, we don't have to. The airship can leave us here and we can just teleport back.
I mean, yeah, we can always just take a week and then teleport back, as you say.
Yeah, but if you take the warship there, you guys are crewing it. I don't know if it comes with its own crew.
Okay.
So if you leave it behind, if you teleportation circle back, the ship is left behind. If you take the 8 Winds, their crew can take it back.
Well, then let's take the smaller, faster ship. I mean, we've got 10 warriors here. If we can't defend an airship, then we don't deserve to get the shard.
Yeah. And there isn't
Fair enough.
and there isn't chaos magic here to destroy everyone.
Yeah. So the chaos magic that was once weighing on everyone about a week ago is now gone.
Oh, there's no chaos magic. Oh, that's cool to know.
Though that doesn't mean all the arc wizards that were around before have come back. Assuming that they left the plane. Anyways, so you guys take the teleportation circle to the Archmage of Domia's office. However, he's not there, but his secretary leads you to the 8 Winds, and the crew is going to take you up. You guys are going to go over Endotrion instead of going through Heroes Pass, and the reason the captain will tell you is because they've spotted a cloud giant in the area, and it's been shooting off lightning at anything that goes by. So they're taking the long way around. But you guys arrive at Ulba relatively quickly. You guys opt to land just outside the city rather than on the lake, as the lake, of course, is notoriously dangerous even to just regular ships. And once you get there, they drop this long plank down, and you guys walk off to this open town. There's no walls, but you do see a lot of dwarven guards walking around. There's not too many halflings in the area, and the ones that are there, they're stout halflings. There are a few gnomes running shops like alchemists and tinker stores, which just basically make lamps and stuff, and alchemist fires to keep warm. They have a few harbors, as there's a river that kind of goes from the mountains to the lake. So they have little docks that go into the lake and on the river. So they have fishermen. They do have a hunters guild, but more importantly, they have a giant slaying guild there. So there are some very stoic dwarves walking around with big axes.
Nice.
I think Adrin and Revjack would know that they have similar designs from the giant slayers from Heroes Pass. So it seems that the giant slayers that move down there come from this area.
Oh, cool.
So you guys are in Uba. You're near the ice lake, but you don't see anything on the lake. And even looking into it, the surface is got ice chunks in it and it's hard to see through. It is navigatable by boat, but you notice that they don't have any boats out there. Like, they've actually pulled the boats onto land. They're not in the water.
So just to be clear, what we know is this Tsar is supposed to be like this wizard was supposed to make like a place to hide it around here in the lake.
Yeah. This was about 80 years ago. So the
That's
information's a little old.
Yeah, rumors and such.
Is there a mage tower around?
Not really. I wouldn't call it a mage tower. They do have a sort of shaman's hut. It's a proper building, but that's where the shamans go. They have a little. So they have several. You go up to the building, and it has like 4 chimneys. And then 2 of them are made of brick, and one of them is actually just a vent, like a metal pipe.
How big is the lake itself? Approx.
If you wanted to go around it, it would take 4 days.
Holy fucking shit!
It's a big lake.
How deep is the lake?
Nobody knows.
Only one way to find out.
It's most likely we're probably going to have to go in the lake.
People.
All right, so here's the idea: is we go to the deep part, and I'll cast water breathing on myself, and I'll jump off with a rope tied to me, and then we'll know exactly how deep it is.
Do you think, Truck, when it comes to magic, you're a lot more knowledgeable than I am? Do you think something like locate object will be useful in this situation?
Locate object has a range of 1,000 feet.
Yeah, man, it's a pretty big range if you ask me. Though in the basin of this lake, it might not seem as that much, but well, I thought it maybe could be used to target the sword. I'm not very sure if it was that way. I haven't used it that much, to be honest, and I'm not that like my use of magic is pretty distinctive, so I'm not fond of the technicalities.
You have to be able to visualize the item.
I mean,
Can we try it?
It's not something we've ever seen before, so we couldn't just locate object on something we've never seen. I don't think. Let me look it up real quick.
but we know more or less what it is, so how it looks like now. Well, at least it was described to us. I mean, a big glowing crystal, kind of.
The scrying attempts were never precise.
Yeah. And
They showed the lake. They showed the lake, and they showed the surrounding land, but they never strayed from the lake, and it didn't show you precisely where it was.
And all 13 shards are different, so you can't look at one and assume one's going Yeah, another's going to be the same.
I mean,
And you have to be familiar with the object. So it could be, I could say, oral sword, or
Which
or
one of them?
Adrin's staff. But as long as I'm thinking of a specific object, I could locate that object. But
Yeah, without having seen this chart, that it's not going to work. I get you what you mean. It says we will have to go into the lake then, but I don't know how are we going to do that in this bad lake. Doesn't seem very safe.
we can
I would
cast
suggest-
water breathing.
Mm,
How much does it last?
24 hours.
Ah,
And
Oh, is it 20?
yeah, and we can ritual without preparing it. So yeah.
man, then we can technically just walk into the lake and only fear hypothermia.
Yeah, it's just the water isn't the issue; it's the cold. So yeah, since
mean,
we
I-
can't use fire to keep ourselves
assume-
warm.
I assume Sparky can help me with that, but I don't know about the others.
So, what's the plan?
So you said there was a shaman's hut.
Yeah.
Would I know that maybe the shaman is the spiritual leader of the town?
Yeah, I would say that's pretty accurate.
Okay. I say we start talking with the shaman and see what he knows. They may know more than we do.
Agreed.
I would
And
say.
another- I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I would say that how this town works is there's not like a mayor or a lord who rules over it. It's more like the town has like each general like branch, like spiritualism, fishing, military, and then they form a council. So there's a council that they meet, and the shaman would be their spiritual leader. Yes. Just to answer that fully.
Well, I will go up to the door of the shaman's building and knock on whatever is seeming to be a door.
Yeah, it's a standard building.
Okay.
It just has wards and old dwarven runes hanging off the fronts of the door. You're not really sure what they ward people from, but they're there.
If it's anything to do with magic, I'm ignorant.
So, anyone going with you, or
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll go with them.
I'm gonna go with them, and I got a 26 to know what they're trying to ward against.
just these things are common among households. You actually see them on most buildings. They're trying to ward against evil and spirits and curses. However, unlike all the other just common household stuff that just seems to be superstitious nonsense, the wards around this building are actually functional. So this place is in some sense hollowed.
Oral will be going with them too.
Okay. So you open the door
Same.
and you see some shamans. They're making some salves, and it seems that they're trying to perform their own scry attempts as well to try to figure out, to get answers to questions. The younger of the shamans will approach you. He's half orc, and he's gonna look over to Eridan. He says, "How can I help you?"
Oh, nice tusks.
Thanks.
Yeah, we were trying to get some information about I tell him the story about the wizard, the lake, and everything. See if they know anything.
That's an old folk tale around here. It's not talked about often.
Well, what stories are talked about?
Well, that's a good question. We talk about mostly war heroes that lived along the way. We're very dwarven-oriented society out here. Most humans and halflings and gnomes stay out of this town. It's too cold for them.
Yeah, it's definitely a little chilly. Is there
Probably makes your pin stand out.
just a little bit? Is there a head shaman that we can speak to?
He's busy at the moment.
What is he doing, if I may inquire?
He's attempting to find out what's wrong with the lake, and he's communing with the spirits.
Oh,
What's
we can
wrong?
probably tell
What do you
him what's
mean?
wrong with the lake.
Has something happened lately? Something changed?
He says, I don't know the specifics. We just know that people have been disappearing in the lake, as well as entire ships.
Well, that would explain why there's no boats on the water. Would he be more forthcoming in speaking with us if he knew we were members of the UAG? And I, at this point, pull out my badge.
He gives you a kind of snarly look, and he says, not particularly, but I don't see him having much other choice.
Not the reaction I usually expect, but okay.
Uh,
I'll tuck my badge back in.
Everyone reacts different when a woman just randomly pulls out her boob.
True, but generally it gets a little better response than that.
He says he'll be able to talk to you in about an hour or two.
Okay. Is there anyone in the local hunters that we should speak to that might have some information about the lake as well?
He says, I don't go out there often. I usually commune with the spirits myself. What do you want to know?
Just any strange animal changes, habitat changes,
I know
patterns
that
of behavior change.
the animals don't go to the river anymore. Only aquatic life have been in the lake and have been unaffected by the changes. Animals that go near it are generally pulled in. I even saw it myself with a fox.
Or what was used to pull him in? Water?
It almost looked like he was falling in.
There's something living within the lake now, or it seems like.
I'm not sure if it's something. I don't think it's some sort of animal or monster. It seems to be everywhere.
Just like the lake itself is dragging people down?
That's what we think. We think there might be some sort of elemental in there. Even
That's
perhaps an
weird.
elder, but we're not entirely sure.
Well, we may be able to solve that mystery for you and take care of it.
Well, that'd be good news for a change. We can still fish and hunt here, just the animals are going to be moving away, migrating if this problem keeps up.
Makes sense.
It's not going to be too much of an issue for us, but there's going to be a lot of angry dwarves.
Just give them some alcohol; they'll cheer up.
No wonder they're starving.
Has the lower
Not every damn dwarf is a drunk.
has the local druid circle looked into any of these?
Yeah, that's true. There's always the section that confirms the rule. Or so they say.
These people would be the druids.
Okay, got it.
when you bring it up,
I flash some druid gang sign at them, and
he answers you with the Arctic symbol. He says, this is my house. The other shamans back there, they live in the mountains. Two of the shamans are dwarves. One of them is a human, and the one who's performing the ritual right now, he's a gray orc.
And can I tell what ritual it is? Is it just commune with nature?
It's just commune with nature. So he's trying to ask the animals and spirits what's wrong. And from his expression, you can tell he's not getting a good answer.
While he's doing that, Oral's going to want to approach like towards the edge of the lake and bring out his compass, seeing if it seems to respawn or anything, being near the lake.
Nope.
No? Yes.
Just
Okay.
points north.
Cool. He's going to go back.
All right. Anyone have any ideas? Revjack?
What are we doing? Sorry, I stepped away for a second.
They just told you that they're trying to commune with the spirits and they're trying to figure out what's going on. Oral went to the lake and his compass didn't pick anything up. So I'm going down the initiative order.
Have they talked to the animals?
That's
Well,
what
they
they're
compete
doing.
with nature, but well, I didn't know if they were talking to like specific aquatic animals instead of just animals in general.
They were talking to them, but those animals didn't react too well with them because they were hungry,
Okay.
or at least thirsty, I should say.
I got a blank right now. Let me think about it.
Okay, we'll do another lap then. Caradoc?
well, clearly we need to begin exploring around the lake and see if we can find where the source of this disturbance is. I don't know what else to do beyond that.
Okay. Throck?
Throck's just gonna wait for the head shaman to come back. We can talk
Okay.
to him.
Aridin?
Yeah, I'm just gonna wait on the head shaman.
Okay.
How deep is the river itself?
The river is probably about 15 feet deep
Okay.
at its deepest point.
How fast does it move?
Fairly slowly.
Okay.
It usually goes through this process of it's winter, right?
Yeah.
It's also
Yeah,
pretty
we're
hard
in-
to tell because the top of the river is frozen over, but you can see the current underneath it, and it looks like it's going at a reasonable pace. You see a lot of fishers with picks just breaking through the ice just to fish in it. Aridin, waiting Oral.
I mean, Oral doesn't really have anything he thinks might help. Because I don't think Gatun can really... Yeah, no, he doesn't have the ability to be well underwater. I mean, he can swim, but not especially well. So... Yeah, he doesn't really have any special ideas so far aside from waiting to the salmon to end his ritual.
Okay. Adder?
Do you guys have a way for us to keep warm in the cold water?
You asking the party, or you asking
I'm asking
I
the
think-
druids.
the half orc that's speaking to you? He says, "I wouldn't go in there if I were you." And no, I don't have any way to keep you warm if you go in there.
I
Most
mean,
people are smart enough to stay out of the freezing water.
Oral will step up and say, I mean, I think Sparky will be able, probably wouldn't like it, but will be able to keep me warm. And maybe I could try, I don't know if it will work, but I could try maybe to protect one more person with the protection from energy spell. Maybe if it's set to cold, will work with a low temperature. I'm not really sure, but worth a try.
Wouldn't mind visiting the alchemist shop though, and see if
Okay.
they have some kind of resistance to the cold that'll last a few hours or something.
Okay, so Mist.
Yeah, I'm going around with Sun and try to find some teenager and ask about where the people most disappear near the lake. Because teenager is always up at by night, right?
Sure.
Yeah, that's
So
my
you-
logic.
You approach some young teen. I guess he's just a practicing hunter. And you ask him about the disappearances, and he says, I don't really know too much about that. They, people fall out of boats and stuff all the time. Once you kind of break through the ice, people usually just kind of accept that they're dead.
So it's not a certain area that happens?
I mean, we've been told not to go into the water at all. I mean, everyone's so scared of the water that they pulled the boats out of the water. I'm not really sure what's going on, but they told us to stick with low water for now if we ever get thirsty.
Are you up at night and seeing anything weird at night?
I mean, I see these lights in the sky. I asked the shamans about them, and they say it's the spirits traveling to other worlds.
The lights, you mean the stars?
No, they're called the aurora lights.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Thanks for the help.
What about the Giant Slaying Guild? Does anybody talk to them?
Not yet. And
I'll head over there.
well, let me get
When you get down.
Caradoc's patrol
Mhm.
done with. So, Caradoc, you're kind of going along the edge of the lake. What kind of signs are you looking for?
I'm sorry. Sorry, I wasn't clear. I was saying that as a suggestion for what the group should do. If the group has decided to wait on that shaman, then I will wait with them.
Okay, so, Rev Jack, you want to go speak to the Giant Slayers?
Yeah.
Okay, so you go speak to some Giant Slayers. The one that's out on patrol right now. He says, "Well met. How can I help ye?"
Hi. How we doing? I'm Rev Jack, one of the UAG members. I met some of your kin down by Hero Pass. Just helping them
He's thinking about it.
by the Giant Pass. I think it's called Giant Pass. Where it is.
He says, "No, you got it. It's Heroes Pass. You kind of looked familiar, but I can't remember. Yeah."
How long has it been since you've been down there?
He says, "I think it's been about half a year now."
Ah, that's probably by the time I was down there. This is I probably beat some skulls in with you.
I
Anyways,
think I know you. 5 stone giants, right? Threw that elf right in the air.
yeah.
If only I had a couple ales with you and I wasn't on duty.
I Yeah. What's your take on this thing with the water here?
Says I don't know. We were thinking some sort of prankster frost giant sitting in the water. They're the only thing that could withstand this kind of cold. Oh, of course, other monstrosities. But we've been looking around for the tracks and we haven't found any. If there's giants around here, they're using some sort of magic to keep their tracks hidden.
Huh. They don't normally. Oh, they have shamans, don't they?
They do, but even the shamans are much like ours. Too much to keep into themselves to use their magic for anything else. I mean, good riddance.
Yeah. He pulls off his helmet, which is the skull of a frost giant, so he can get some air.
Do you feel a nice, cold chill? It's actually kind of refreshing.
Feels like home.
It's just wait until you get to the top of the mountain. That's where I live. Or at least used to.
Used to? What do you mean?
I was born and raised, and he points up to the mountain to the northeast. It says, up there. There's a cathedral up there that serves Palor. But my clan is a clan of slayers, as you can guess.
Right.
Moved down to the southern fortress, and that's where I got my became a giant slayer. Was moved down the Heroes Pass, which has never been conquered before. But with your help, we managed to actually get a footing, and we actually have a patrol in there kicking their arses.
Aye.
Cloud Giant's trying to move in there now.
Really?
Yeah.
You ever tangled with any of those?
Says, not up close. Ain't that crazy. I did shoot one with a ballista, man, did he let out a bellow.
Good for you. All right. Well, I'll let you get back to your patrol. Any of your kin seen anything and got away from it from as far as by the lake?
Now that you mention it, I did hear rumors that they did see something in the lake, but it wasn't like any fish that they ever saw. I'd be keeping a very close eye on it. I don't know what it could be, and I know that the druids are convinced there's some sort of elemental in there, but something's not right. There's definitely some foul sorcery at work here.
No doubt. When it comes to this chaos stuff, it's pretty foul as you can get.
He says, I don't know if if that's it or not, but I hear the UAG is a sort of expert of these sort of things, so I'll trust your judgment.
Those kin that you say that's seen this, can I talk to them?
I wouldn't put too much pressure on them. They're just young lads. Fishermen.
I got you. Any information helps. But
He's crazy. I think they just spooked. Said that there was ice floating around down there. They thought it was some sort of ice shark.
as much stuff as I've seen, I wouldn't doubt it, my friend.
He says, well, not much we can do about ice sharks.
He says, yeah. If I can get down there, I'll stick this in them, and I'll pat the balance blade.
Well, if you need something to keep yourself warm, the alchemist shop and the tavern will have something for you. But if you plan on going in the water, I don't know how long those things will last.
I'll go pay him a visit. Thank you, friend. He put out his hand to shake his.
He shakes your hand. Good luck.
May your axe cleave into some nice frost giants soon.
He says, I could cleave anything at this moment. It's been a long day of walking.
I feel you. Thank you. And he'll head to the alchemist shop.
So he picks up his axe that he had slung on his shoulder, slings it back on his shoulder, and starts walking around the town again.
Okay.
So I think a lot of people are just waiting for the druids to come back to finish the communion.
Okay. That's fine.
So let's do that. So you guys wait an hour, about an hour and a half, and the gray orc finishes his communion, and he's sweating, and they're damping him with hand cloths to dry him off, and they hand him his staff. It seems like he's the head of the druid circle around here, and they help him to a chair. The half orc introduces you all to him, and then goes up to clean the communion area. And the gray orc looks over to you, and he says, "So, you are all the ones who are waiting for me."
Why?
What brings you all to me?
Well, we've heard that you've had some terrible happenings coming from the lake. People being sucked in, and heard stories of some young lads seeing something that you might think was an ice shark in the water. Spooked them. So, came here. We figured, if anything, we can hear what you saw or what you're getting from nature.
Yeah, we want to see how we can deal with this problem, but thought you might be able to actually give us most information of what the problem actually is.
I'll tell you what I do know. Is that the animals do not know what's going on. The fish and the aquatic life in the lake, they don't seem to have any problems. The animals on the land feared the river and the lake. They say that when they go to get a drink, they feel something pulling on them and tearing off their fur. And the spirits, they answer me with only screams. It seems that they are forced against their will. They provide no answers. He looks down, starts pondering, and he'll look back to you and he says, "The chaos magic, as the scholars in Starfall have spoken about, it seemed to be lifted in this area. But when I commune with the spirits, I can feel its presence amongst them. I believe that the chaos energy is affecting the lake. But I don't know where it would be. The only place that I could think of and is suspect is within the lake itself. These lands have been well known and scoured by the dwarves, and if the dwarves can't find any hidden structures, then I trust that no one else can. So that means the only place that they haven't explored is the lake."
Yeah.
So whatever we seek to find here, we must go into the lake.
Well, we seek to find a way to go into the lake without freezing to death.
I'm not sure. I would suspect that somebody else knows, though. There is a method that we druids use to shapeshift into aquatic life that can withstand the cold, but I doubt all of you can perform such a feat. Regular magical protections against the cold would suffice as well, but it's a temporary measure.
How temporary.
Of course. However long the spell lasts, or how many times you choose to cast it.
Well, as I said, I can protect one of us.
For like an hour.
Yeah, well, I can technically use it several times, but yeah, it won't last at best a few hours. And the greatest pains of it for that, but
I mean,
it's probably worth it.
I can turn into a reef shark. So I mean, I could try to explore. Of course, if I get attacked, I'm dead. Thing has like no hit points.
What's a snap?
It's like a shot to keep you warm.
Yeah, they have
Perhaps.
alcohol.
Mist gonna buy some of those then. Because he's not the magic type, so he know that gonna work. Maybe a few minutes.
Well, you can't drink them in the water, though.
I do it before then.
Just drink them all, get wasted, flop in the water.
Yeah.
So I think the other option, we can always just kind of test out how bad being in the water is. We have a little bit of time. We're not under a time crunch here. So, I mean, theoretically, we can go in the water for an hour, see how bad it is for us, if we're able to handle it. And, you know, theoretically, everything else, when it goes in the water, it starts getting attacked by whatever it is. We could go into the water and maybe not have to necessarily then, you know, if there's something to fight, we might not have to fight it in more than a couple inches of water. But I think
that's not a bad point.
I think if we can try and lure it to us, maybe go a little bit away from the city and get whatever it is to come to us, then we can start the ocean or the lake as aquatic creatures.
In fact, I mean, if we want to be real sneaky about it, we could set up an ambush somewhere, have me and Talmeric as animals go down to drink from the water as if we were just local fauna. And when we get attacked, y'all jump out and help us. And that way, I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud.
That's pretty good. Ambush. I'll buy something warm. Yeah, she's probably really cold right now, so you buy her a nice winter outfit. It'll cost you 2 gold. So, what's the plan?
What do we say? Do we want to set up an ambush and check it out?
Yeah, probably should start at the river edge towards the lake.
Or we should throw a person out and have a rope to him or something.
I think Throwak actually suggested that.
Well,
yeah, I mean, my suggestion, I'll do it.
I have 100 feet chain.
Worst comes to worst, I can always change into something scary.
Scurry.
I have 100 feet chain, so I'd load on to you.
Sounds good to me.
I'll go with you.
I just put the chain on forward and I'm gonna keep. I say just pull 2 times in it and I'm gonna pull you up.
Okay.
Sounds good. Rev Jack, will you take a bath with me?
I will. Just keep your fur to yourself.
Okay,
Oh.
so it takes 20 feet of chain to tie you both up. And I would say keep you guys 5 feet apart from each other, so you guys aren't swimming into each other.
Will
And
help to hold the chain.
Yeah, I trying to tie my chain to my rope of climbing, so we have a 200 feet if needed.
okay,
Yeah.
so Worf and Redjack go for a swim. Where are you guys going for a swim?
Why don't we go into the river?
So you guys have to break.
We can break through the ice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you use your weapons, or you just blast it with magic?
I'll use this. Yeah, I'll use
I'll
this.
use my.
Okay, so I'm just gonna assume firebolt and smashing it open. And
sounds fair.
You guys take a dip. You guys jump in. And
ooh, it's so chilly.
So you guys just go ahead, like jump into the middle, or you just jump in near the edge?
I
figured
let's go in the middle.
Yeah,
Like
why
on
don't
the
we
edge?
stay near too far away? We'll go to the edge, then we're not necessarily underwater. I'll be, let's try for like waist deep.
Okay. So you guys jump in.
Before we jump in, let me go ahead water breathing just in case we get drug under.
What? No. Don't do that.
What could possibly go wrong?
I'm just saying, I'm wearing plate armor, and I'm going to go play in the water. Let's just cast water breathing just to be sure.
I mean, you have two strong guys pulling on you too.
So you
such lack
guys
of trust.
break through. It's a 3-foot spot. You can feel the current underneath your feet. And I'm going to have you two make competing athletics checks.
All right.
13 plus 8 is 21.
Okay.
20 to 31.
So you guys feel the current, and it's actually pretty weak. And then you feel this fierce pull on your legs, and it's trying to pull you into the river.
Mm-hmm.
And you're looking down. You don't see anything. You just see this ice forming around your feet. You don't see any forms taking shape. It just feels like that there's the ice itself is trying to pull you in. And
chop it.
there's not really enough room to choppy. You guys are kind of in this tight space.
Oh, okay.
But it's a fierce pull, but neither of you are pulled in. So you guys are obviously struggling against something, and what do you guys do?
Can I reach down and grab a hold of what it is?
You
Pull
reach
against
down. You reach down and try to pull up against what you think is pulling against you, and you break some of the ice.
Mm-hmm.
But the ice just reforms and is still pulling on you. Troak, I'll have you make an Arcana check right now.
Thanks. Woohoo! That's 20... 19 plus, I think it's 9, so it's going to be like a 28.
So you are standing in this water, and Revjack is...
Yeah, 28.
Revjack kind of punches some ice, and you expect it to just... Maybe it's just frost from the nature at first, but it immediately refreezes, and it actually starts extending outwards, and you look at your own feet, You can actually sense the chaos energy is actually manipulating the ice around it, and it seems to be giving this water a sort of will. You're not really sure what is causing it to gain this willpower, but you can feel its intent.
So it's almost sentient water? Awakened water, maybe?
It's almost like sentient water, except the punches that is delivered doesn't seem to be causing it to falter.
Anybody speak primordial?
Nope,
Good
don't
point.
have that on my list.
Oral does.
I
Oh,
do.
that's good.
Yeah,
Oral,
so
you
does
hear
Black.
just a
So,
bunch of gurgling, and so you two hear a bunch of gurgling of like the water, and you can actually tell it's Aquan, but it's just a bunch of pain screams and incomprehensible language. Like they're trying to form words, but they always cut themselves off to make new words, and nothing makes sense. This is probably what the druid was talking about when he said the spirits were yelling at him.
Whatever it is seems to be suffering, if you ask me.
All right,
So I'm going to look at RevJack. I think we've learned all we can from here. Let's regroup on the shore. I don't think we need to get pulled in anymore.
Okay, no.
I want to try something real quick. I'm going to pull the balance blade out and dip it in the water to where it would intersect with the water, whatever is attacking me, and just kind of touch it against the ice. This is what happens.
All right. You start feeling you tip the blade into the ice and the water, and you can sense that the blade is making some sort of effect. Anyone who's watching can notice that, and Throak in particular can feel the calming energy kind of come off the blade. But even though the blade is sending out this energy, it seems that the water isn't taking to it very well, and the chaotic energy returns and pushes the calming aura back into the blade.
All right.
It failed its wisdom save.
What did? The blade?
The water.
Oh. Okay. Well, then, since we're going to step out the water, I'll wait until Throak is behind me, and I'll kind of do like a sweeping cut of the ice and step out of the water.
Okay. You attack the water.
Yeah.
A bunch of ice breaks. You guys get out.
Right. I don't know if it was going. It's fine.
So go back to where everybody is and let them know what we found out. That the water appears to have some kind of. It's almost sentient. It has a will, and it seems to be trying to speak in primordial, but like there's so many different voices that they're just talking over each other, and it's kind of confusing. It's almost as if the water itself is alive.
Could there be more than one creature in there?
It would make sense. I think we should go back to the shaman and see if maybe between them and us, maybe this will add a little bit of enlightenment. Maybe they can help us figure out what's going on.
Okay.
Questions,
Your
comments,
turn.
screams for help?
Oh my god, they're trying to kill me. No. I'll take that as a no. So you guys head to the you head back to the shaman's hut, and the gray orc is still there. It seems the other three have gone off to get supplies, so the only other person there is the half orc. But he doesn't impede you. He noticed that you were in the water, and he lets you approach the head druid. And the head druid just looks over to you, and he kind of smiles, and he says, "So, either you didn't believe me, or you wanted to find out yourself."
No, we found out.
Empirical data is always better than witness testimony.
Fair enough. And what did your
I understand what you
empirical
mean
data tell you?
It said that the water was trying to grab us. It seems self may be alive or have some kind of awareness, but it's not as a singular being. It's almost like there are so many of them, they're trying to shout over each other.
I believe that is what the chaos energy is causing. I think it's giving the water a sort of pseudo awakening. It's not quite an elemental, but it's not quite aware. It's in some sort of strange limbo of consciousness. And I think it's being manipulated by someone.
Possible. Is there one area of the lake where it's the absolute worst? And are there areas where it's worse, areas where it's better? Is there anything we can down? Because I have a feeling we're going to end up having to go into the water to find this.
He just shrugs. He says, "I'm not a member of this town, traditionally. I came here because my student asked me to arrive. He is the shaman of this town, and he's asked for my assistance. I would suggest that you talk to one of his council members. They would probably be more aware of these situations."
Fair enough. Is there anything that we can do to assist you before we leave to do that? Is there anything that we can do to help you since you're also working on this?
He says, "Not particularly, no." I'm just going to look up his spells right now and see if there's something that he can help you with.
Have anything they wanted to say?
Is there a teleportation circle in the area?
No. This is a small fishing town. I believe there's one in Starfall, or at least they are working on one. Perhaps there is a spell that could work, that I could cast before you go in there.
Okay.
Any assistance you could provide would be greatly appreciated.
He says, "I can calm the waters and part it so that it cannot impede your investigations for a short time." But that is the best I can do, and I can only cast it and I can only have it for 50 minutes. He says, outside
Fair
of
enough.
that, I can't help you.
I appreciate you've offered, and if we need it, we will come back and ask. Thank you again.
He says, "Good luck in your investigation."
Thank you. Good luck with your continued communications.
He says, "I think
And we'll
I do not think I will gain any more from nature."
and I'll go ahead and leave.
Okay. Does anyone else want to talk to him?
No, I think I'm good.
Okay.
Gerald doesn't have anything to ask either. Anything else?
Pattern?
I have an idea how to not deal with the water. It is a somewhat stupid idea, but yeah. I can control water for an hour and a half. If things go bad, I can do that and push water out of the way if the water is impeding us.
Sounds like a good option.
Yeah.
That's basically all he was offering you, too. So.
Yeah.
Although it is kind of an all or nothing attempt, because it only affects 100 feet.
Yeah.
So what's the next move? Some of the locals seem to be eyeing you guys up. It seems they have things to say, but they're not really sure what to say.
I go to him.
Sure.
I talk to him.
Okay. You approach a halfling. He says, "Oi, what's up?"
Yeah, what happened in the city?
This ain't a city. Though thanks for the compliment. It is pretty big from the way I see it, though. But enough about me. Well, can you be more specific? I mean, the
You
lake
look
is
like
kind
you
of
want
crazy.
to tell me something.
Oh, yeah. You guys are a bunch of misfits. Look at you, all of you.
Are you say we ugly?
No, I'm saying you're troublemakers.
I mean, never met trouble. Maybe him, and I got a point of oil.
Yeah, he seems like the guy that would do that.
Yeah.
So,
The guy in plate mail covered in holy symbols.
yeah, he seems like the guy that would do that. I mean, who even serves that Lathander guy anyways?
You have seen anything about this water recently?
Yeah, I've seen it kill people.
Are you sure to kill people?
Well, I mean, I don't know how long you can hold your breath, but they've gone into the water and never come back up. And it's been about 3 days since the last incident. Yeah, people are terrified of going in there. So,
Can you show the place?
oh yeah,
I have?
yeah. If you have never seen the lake before, it's right over there, and he points over the whole ice lake. It's huge.
Yeah, but where did the guy fall down? Or her?
He says, "Man, I don't know how good of eyes you think I have, or memory.
You say you saw it.
It was 3 days ago."
Okay. You must remember where you was when you saw it.
Oh yeah, it was at the dock.
Thanks for your help. It was very useful.
He's like, well, what were you expecting?
It looked like you know a lot of stuff. I thought Halfling was wise, but yeah.
I don't know what town you came from.
But Mr. Waterway then.
All right. Yeah, they just wanted to say something. That doesn't mean they have anything useful.
So whatever it is, it doesn't seem that we are going to find the answers here in the surface. As bad as it looks, it seems we will have to get down there somehow.
Well,
The atom.
you've only talked to the druids, and Jack talked to the giant slayers, and they know there's no monsters or giants in the area, so it's not them.
Is there other wise people in this city?
There's other leaders in the city, yes.
Let's find them all. One.
Did Revjack happen to share the information he got?
Yeah.
All right.
He's not a dick.
In that case, I would like to go and see about some potions or something to protect my derriere under the water.
Yeah.
Okay. You go to the local alchemist shop, and it's called the Flask and Hammer. It seems to second as a sort of workshop for armor. It doesn't sell any armor, but it does repair. And it's run by a gnome who's standing on a stool, standing over a counter, and you hear a lot of loud sparking noises in the back room. The store up front seems to be selling healing potions, alchemist fires, some holy water, and some other herbs and spices. It sells other potions too, like potions of speed and stuff like that. Oils for either lubricating your swords so that you could light it on fire, or for just drinking so you can breathe water for a little while. Or the stuff that is more prominent in the area, which is ale, or, well, sort of a whiskey-based potion that heats up your body.
I'll
Makes
take one of those.
So he'll give you the details. It essentially causes your body to metabolize faster. So it requires you to eat more, but the more you eat, the longer you stay warm.
I'll take one of those.
Okay. So he just says 20 gold.
I'll take. How many do you have?
He says, I have about 50 in stock.
Ah.
And he says, it's mostly for the town. I don't plan on selling these things in bulk. There's only one other town that buys these, and that's the cathedral up on the mountain.
How long does it last?
It lasts... The longest I've seen it last is 2 hours. Though I heard the half-orc say he's had it go on for a day. Though I think he has those weird good berry things kind of fueling it. I want to talk to him about it. I asked him if I could use it and test it, but he won't let me touch those things. Doesn't want me to science his stuff, I guess, so...
Yeah. I'll take 10 of them.
All right. So, essentially, they can last up to 2 hours on their own. They only last 30 minutes. And essentially, they quadruple your metabolism. So you do heat up like crazy when you're drinking one. And basically, in order to extend the time to the full 2 hours, you have to be eating rations every 30 minutes.
And if we take a good berry first, it'll last a day.
If you eat good berry, so every 30 minutes, if you eat a good berry, you can extend it to a day because those things just fuel it like crazy.
Ah.
All right, I'll take a couple potions.
Okay, so 10 is, I said 20 gold for one, so a couple is 40 gold, 10 is 200 gold, and he'll sell you them.
All right, I'll take half a dozen.
Okay. That's 160. Or 120, sorry. He's kind of looking around. He says, I have 32 of them left.
I'll take 10 of them.
Okay.
Oh my god.
So you pay him 200 gold, and he says, I have 22 left.
I'll hand a couple to Aridin and a couple to Rorak. Actually, I'll just whoever doesn't have any, I'll hand you two.
Yeah, Aridin bought some.
Miss donated 2 and Son donated 2.
He says, any particular reason why you're buying so many?
We're gonna kill some water.
That sounds totally normal, yeah.
He says, can you be more specific?
Well, we're under the assumption that there's a chaos shard in the lake. It's making the lake kind of come alive. And so I have a feeling that when we get down there, we're going to end up having to fight the water. Well, being as cold as it is, we have to survive the cold, and then we have to figure out how to breathe down there.
And now
It's not the issue, it's the cold.
Well, I mean, we know how to breathe.
Oh, I hope not. So you're kind of doing it right now.
how are we going to eat down there? That's the question.
Put food in your mouth?
Underwater?
It'll get
If you-
soggy, but it's still edible.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you just
Well-
breathe it in water, you can eat it, right?
Well, yeah, if you have water breathing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not the issue, but yeah. So
I guess
he's looking at all of you and he says, well, you have your plan all sorted out, I guess, so hopefully you don't, drown in there like everyone else.
Yeah.
And
Well,
kind of I'll have anyone who's kind of looking at him or talking to him, I'll have you guys roll insight.
Inside? Sure. I'm really bad at that, I think.
17?
15?
Ooh, I actually rolled good. 19 minus 1, so 18.
Okay. He seems to
34.
be... How much?
Let me
13.
check this one.
What are you rolling for? Oh, insight.
But we're also going to buy also half a dozen of the left
The 13.
potions
So-
just in case.
Yeah,
Sparky can
he's-
camp him more.
He's definitely kind of not telling you something. It's related, but he's not quite sure if that's information you want.
Do you miss know that?
I would say Adrian is the closest one. He's not entirely sure if it's gonna lead to anything, but
You
He
got
seems to
something
be-
else to say?
he says, "Oh well, I mean, I know something cool about the lake, but I mean, I don't know if it's important."
It might be important.
And he says, well, I was doing research on the lake. I was thinking, there was a lot of sinkages lately, and like wreckages and boats sinking. I mean, it's always been a problem, but now it's been like horrible. Like it's been happening all the time. So I got my dwarf buddy, and I invested. I gave him a business proposition. You know, I gave him his workshop. He would help me find a way to get into the water. And my research has led me to believe that there is some sort of temple down there. And I think I have it down to exactly where it is. I found this crazy wizard's notes in some sort of cave, maybe about an hour to the north. It was completely buried. I found it by luck. I was trying to light a fire with an alchemist fire, but it exploded and the wind took it away, and it actually melted the snow away. Thank God. So, but I found all these notes, and I compiled them into some journal. And I don't know why I'm telling you any of this, but I think I have an idea where the temple is. I don't know if it's going to help you, but I have been planning this for about a year now, and I think I have a way to at least get myself down there. The dwarf doesn't like the water very much, so he refused to go, but I want to do it.
Sounds like a plan. What you got?
I says, well, I mean, I don't want to go down there, so, but you guys are trained adventurers, right? UAG members.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah, do you need to see my badge?
No, a lot of you are already just wearing it out in the open. I don't need you to flash it to me.
She likes flashing it.
I mean, go ahead if it makes you feel good. I'm all about making people feel good.
Ooh, me and you might get along.
He says, I even have other stock that I don't keep up on the shelves, but I'm not sure if that's what you're into.
What is it?
Just, you know, some stuff. And he pulls out kind of thin vial, and it's got a pink. It's a pink vial, and he says it could be useful. I know people drink it, they start going on. I had the half-orc try it, and he said he went on a spiritual journey. So I guess that's good. Causes hallucinations.
Nice. I'll take one.
He says, okay. Just 35 gold. It doesn't last long. It's not meant to. It's just kind of a joyride thing that I think I should cut him off, but he keeps buying it. I don't know how. I think he enhances it too, but I'm not sure. More druid secrets he won't.
That doesn't look healthy.
He says it's not healthy. If you were planning on being healthy, I highly advise not drinking it.
I buy one.
Okay.
I'll gonna buy two to me and son.
And when I get some alone time, I'm going to ritual cast Identify.
I'm gonna down it with the sun right now.
I think
Okay.
you're past.
Okay, you two are gonna have to make con saves.
Ah, shit. Yep, that's probably not good.
It's not a magical item, so it's not anything.
Is that poison?
It's poison. As a head DM of the UAG, I do not condone drug abuse.
I didn't hear anything. I just heard pink liquid. It might have been pink lemonade.
It's a poison, and when you drink it, it causes hallucinations. Mechanically speaking, it paralyzes you and stuns you.
Okay. The first one is a 19 because I have advantage.
On con saves?
No, on against poison.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, you make it.
And she rolled a 18 on her die, so I think that is okay.
Okay, so you guys just suffer the hallucinations. It's it's distracting at best. And you guys do see these kind of the room start to like wobble and wave, and the room does go a little bit of a pink color, as if you were kind of looking into some other dimension. But a minute passes and it goes away.
Okay. I don't see a holy symbol that shine and a doorway to the temple or something. No.
No.
Okay.
You see Gozer.
Okay. That's fine.
So
How much was that?
it's 35 gold each.
Waste of money. Yep.
It's
I'll do it.
he says, I had a hunter try it on an animal once, and it does seem to work on them pretty well too. So whatever floats your boat, or sinks it in this case.
So you said you had potions that made you faster?
Yeah, a potion of speed. It just makes you twice as fast.
All right.
Lasts for a minute.
Ooh, I like some of those.
Yeah, they're just. I know that there's a spell. There's a potion called Potion of Speed, but I just wanted to make a small tonic, so it wasn't so goddamn expensive. They're just 50 gold a shot, and he pulls up this small rack of vials. Says it just doubles speed for a minute. It doesn't work with the Potion of Speed. It doesn't work with the Boots of Speed. But if you just need a quick shot just to get you out of some trouble, it's good in a pinch.
I'll buy 4 of them.
Okay, so that's 200 gold.
Mhm.
And he says I have 6 left.
I'm gonna buy 4 and give them to Son.
Okay.
I'll throw one a throwback. I'll
You
give one a throwback.
literally throw
No, I don't.
Smash.
I'll give one a throwback.
Boy, this will be nice. Maybe I'll be able to keep up with. Oh wait, everybody's got one, so I'm still not going to be able to keep up. Screw
Yes,
you
but
guys.
you'll still move faster.
You need to get dwarf squatting, my friends.
I need a keychain for your fucking armor, so I can put you on my belt and run.
At the end of his beard,
Hold on.
He has a hook.
Yeah.
I'm actually just thinking about maybe putting maybe a small little platform on the back of your armor, maybe a couple of handholds, and I can just jump on your back and ride you into battle. I don't weigh
That
that
works.
much.
Or you put wagon wheels on your feet.
Boots of wheel.
So you're just rolling around.
Yeah.
That would be funny. It'd be like a portable chariot.
I call them roller skates.
You should make those now for a throwback.
I'm sure there's not going to be any copyright infringement there.
No.
So what I'm
Roller
going to do,
boots.
I'll do boots of rolling. It'll be boots with a levitation cast on them, but it'll have little wheels. So in case the levitation, if you get bumped, you'll still roll across the ground. That's it. There'll be boots of rolling.
All right, so you guys have his potions, and he's actually very thoroughly happy that you guys have arrived. He says, "I was getting worried that nobody would buy these things." These guys are a little crazy too. Like they abuse the shit out of these potions, and then they become immune to them. So I'm always changing the recipes. I'm afraid they're gonna come in one day and just murder me in my sleep because they're addicts.
I can understand the concern. I understand. Do you see these people here? They just drank a random potion. They have no idea what's going on with. Being concerned about addicts is a problem. It is not at all unreasonable.
I'm not an addict. I just like to
That's exactly what addicts say.
I just like to try new stuff. You need to try it sometimes.
We're gonna have a UAG intervention.
All right, everyone. You can't just drink potions you find in the old moldy chest.
That's what you think.
But we find it in a shop, so that's okay.
They have the CA certification. It's all good.
All right.
How
So
much
he
was this
says,
one? 32?
how much what?
Was this one, the one of speed, was 30 gold too?
No, the potion of speed, the tonic of speed was 50 gold.
Ah, 50. Okay.
They just double your speed, last for a minute.
Okay.
Yeah, anything that hardens your skin, like armor or anything like that?
He says, sort of, but not really. I mean, you have to drink 2 of them, and you're not gonna. It's a lot of people. I've had some, pretty crazy warriors that live around in this town. Some of the giant slayers said it was really good, but those guys have lost a few marbles.
Cool.
So what the one potion does is it makes you sweat this green stuff out of your skin. It's not really that healthy for at least most people, and it's really gross and disgusting, and it makes you slimy. But the other one, when you drink it with the other one, it actually hardens it into a shell, and when you can break it into, like when you move your arms and stuff, it cracks open so you can still move, and it gives you like this kind of like, I would guess, kind of like rock-like substance on your skin.
Mm-hmm. All
They
right.
said it's helped them.
I'll take a pair of those.
It just gives you, is basically like a shield of faith. You have to drink them both. It takes your whole round to do it, but it lasts a minute.
Shield of faith.
Give you +2 AC.
Yeah,
All right.
and it's not concentration. After the minute, the bone basically cracks off and falls off.
Cool. So
what's the weirdest potion you have?
Oh my god.
He says the weirdest concoction of potions or the weirdest combination. Because I have one really messed up potion that I've been working on, and then I have a kind of really long series of potions. I think it's like 4 of them that you have to drink all of them in the right order to get to work the way it's intended, and you can't mix them all together or else it just blows up. But if you drink them all in the right order, it does kind of give you a really long haste effect. Except I had one warrior I think he was 30 when he tried it, and he ended up being 45 by the time it stopped.
Holy crap.
It lasted a month.
nice.
So
Very nice.
so it really it's a life killer. But if you're doing a lot of fighting, it's good.
Or reading.
Well, I'm 19. Another decade would not be bad.
It's a decade and a half, and I mean, he also had a couple heart attacks in that area. So I
They have
mean,
a good constitution.
yeah, I wouldn't recommend it to just any person.
That would be good for like if you have a prolonged battle. Like
Well, it lasted a
or
month.
something. Like if you were fighting a war, that would be great.
Yeah, And it isn't like the normal haste either. So if you want to drink this potion, it is effectively a curse, but it does have a lot of benefits.
All right. How much is that?
He says, "You sure? Like this will age you rapidly in a month, 15 years. It doesn't stop you."
I'm an elf. A decade and a half is not that much for me.
He says, "I don't really know if it works the same for everyone. Like, I only have one guy try it. I don't know if it's. I don't know if that's comparable."
All right. How much is it?
He's like, "You know what? If you just fucking live, that will be good enough for me." he will pull out, basically, gently and carefully lift out a vial set. One is red, one is blue, one is green, and one is black. He says they're already in order. You drink the colored ones first, from red then to black. When you drink it, I don't really know how long it will last. But it does make you go a lot faster. They say they've been invigorated by it. It's changed their lives. I'm not sure positively, but they're happy with the results, I guess.
Insight check that bitch. This
Okay.
is the most elaborate freaking practical joke.
I'm the only one that thinks that this is extremely careless. This totally doesn't sound like a good idea.
I just say I want to get it. In case we got to go and fight some crazy shit for a long time. You just never know.
Yeah, but
it's like one of those last resort things. It's just money.
He says, "Okay, so you got a 7. This is wonderful news. This is a revolutionary thing." At 20, what's your total?
Insight, that would be a 19.
Like, he is absolutely worried for your friend right now. He's like, he's not gonna make him pay any money for it. He's like, if you live, that's good enough for me. Like, I made this. I'm not sure if it's gonna kill you or not.
Pick your poison.
He's like, if you want to lose 15 years of your life potentially, that's on you.
I'll take one of those.
He says it's a vial set, and I only have the one.
I got it.
Fight for it.
So, what was the other weird one you were telling me about before? The 15-year aging and possible death.
Oh, that one's actually pretty solid, except some people might mistake you for a Coyotl.
What?
He pulls out a large vial, probably about this big, has a small nozzle, fits in your hand, and it is just got a lot of rain. It's basically rainbow colors floating in the inside. They're actually a bit cloudy as well. And he says, "I made this, and my original goal was to make, like, everyone has that pesky wizard problem where you don't know what protection spell you're going to take, because you're like, maybe that thing kind of looks like it should be using fire, but then it starts shooting hot air at you, and you didn't prepare that spell. So you're going to get burned." So I tried to make a spell and a potion that would protect from all the elements, and it does just that. It just makes you grow scales and makes you grow them everywhere, and you can't get rid of it.
Ever?
I think that I heard him go to a cleric, and he had to go to a high priest for it. So, I mean, you could get rid of it. It gives you rainbow scales, so, I mean, if you like being flashy and stuff.
But you're resistant to all
I've got to
elements?
have this. So, how much is it?
He says, "Oh, this one?" He says, I actually didn't ever plan on selling those on. Hold on. And he goes and picks up a notepad, and he's like, all right, so I put that in that, and then I put that in that. That and that. So, I'm gonna, it's weird because some of these materials I didn't actually have to pay for, so now I'm kind of making prices on the spot. You know how that is? Economy's weird. Anyways, I'm gonna say 800 gold, and so 800 gold for, and what it does is it gives you resistance to all the elements, all the base ones, so like fire, cold, electricity, thunder, and acid. Yeah, that's it. That's one of them. But all the other ones, you're still vulnerable. Like you're still susceptible to. So it gives you resistance to the main 5, but it doesn't protect you from the other ones like force, radiant.
And it's practically permanent.
It is technically the effect only lasts 24 hours.
Oh, I just get the cool skin afterwards for free.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some people might mistake.
That sounds like win-win to me.
Yeah, some people might mistaken you for a shiny lizard folk.
Hey, Will is shiny, like it too.
So he
Yeah.
gets scales?
Yeah, he says the scales weren't that like thick. They were kind of
Just mention that it gives you disadvantage on stealth checks now because you're shiny.
Yeah, I was
No.
thinking that the same.
No, they're actually barely visible. Like the scales themselves, they're still skin thick,
Okay.
so it doesn't bolster your AC at all.
No,
They
I
are
was
very shiny, and they does feel like scales, and their colors are very like they stand out. So
I was just thinking if I have fur and I gonna grind it, what the fuck that gonna happen?
all your fur is gonna fall off.
No, I'm not gonna do that then.
I will buy you the potion.
Be one of those naked cats now.
Yeah,
We-
a mutant that. With
We
anglers
just
and long ears and no fur. Fuck no.
So
He
we
said-
were just in such a hurry to came here, find the crazy alchemist, and buy out his fucking stock. What the? Didn't
What?
we have like important things to do?
This is important.
What?
You know what? I'll take the potion.
Okay.
We came here so we wouldn't die of hypothermia.
And the other things will do that. Actually, this potion will also do that for a day. So he gives Aridin the potion. And I'm assuming you have 800 gold.
I'm just going to pass him. I think the equivalent's 80 platinum.
Oh yeah, that'll do it.
Um,
He's like, woo, shiny.
do you have a potion that made me look hotter?
Oh, we can set you on fire.
I got it.
Was not what I mean.
I could do that for free. I've got the immolate spell. I'll set you on fire.
He says, not really. No.
Okay.
So he turns to Revjack and he gives him the vial set.
All right.
It lasts a month, and it is when you drink all of them in the proper order, it is considered a curse that you're putting on yourself. It lasts a month. You get the benefits of an enhanced haste if you drink them all in the right order. It takes a minute to drink them all because some of them are just pungent, and you shouldn't probably be drinking them.
All right. So it's just enhanced taste.
If you plan on drinking it in this game. I will just announce what it does here. But if you wait, then I'll
Just
tell
Discord
you.
to me later. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll Discord it to you later.
If I do, then I'll let you know.
Okay. So the gnome has given you his experimental goodies. The one for free because he's actually very afraid that you're going to die drinking it, which could just be part of the job. He's worried for you either way. And the other one is just a strange concoction that gives you a protection from elements, at least the core 5. Lasts 24 hours, and as a cost, gives you a sort of enhanced curse that can only be removed by greater restoration, and gives you rainbow skin. The rainbow colors don't actually shift though, so once you get your skin, the scales set and their colors are whatever colors.
Okay.
And they're all chromatic colors too, so they're not you don't get any metallic colors. So somebody is
flirting
gonna
with a dragon.
Yeah. Oh no.
It's a dragon.
I've never seen a dragon born like you, and you're like, I'm not a yeah.
Exactly.
Don't eat me. So this guy is giving you a lot of stuff and a lot of information. You guys want to get him to elaborate on some of that, or?
Yeah, let's make a deal with them to go take care of that wizard temple or whatever.
Oh, I assumed that the wizard was dead, but I mean I didn't find any of his bones there, so I just found his notes. And he'll give you a journal, and he says I kind of detailed all of his ratings, and I think it's actually pretty close to Ulba, but it's kind of underneath this cove in the water. So it's going to take a while to actually find. I think it's somewhere about 2,000 feet deep. He will hand you a map, and he says, I have a pretty good mental map. I go over this every 2 weeks or so, just so I can remember it and work on it. And he gives you a map of the lake, which is actually a pretty typical map of the lake. It shows all the edges and creases of it, where you can go to rest, where animals don't go. And he gives you another map, which is actually where the temple is. It's actually like a side view of the lake and its depth. And there's like this cove that kind of comes down the side, comes out like this, and then it goes in. And the temple is supposed to be in that tunnel. And he says, I don't know how much it's dug out or if it's even dug out at all. I know that I have this feeling it's in there. I'm not 100%, but all the details point to that. And you can read it if you want. The book, all the notes together have my thoughts and reasonings behind them in there, and should take you no more than 4 hours to read through them all. He says,
Okay,
if you go down there in my stead, then I would just 10%. I just want a little bit of the money if you're gonna go down there and risk your lives.
Okay.
I tell you what, you've been a very helpful gnome.
Ooh.
How about I'll give you 1,000 gold as a down payment on whatever's there, and we'll go check it out.
Well, down payment. Okay. I like money. He says, I don't know how you're going to get that far out. I think the best way is to just sink. If you have some sort of spell to get you out the distance first, and then just sink the rest, I think that would be good. But I don't know how well that will do you. I would suggest speaking to the healers in town first.
Sounds good.
Because they've actually managed to pull out some of the bodies, and they've determined how some of them died, and that's me saying more than I should already. But I feel like that if you guys are gonna, help you, then I'll help you help me. So they've been giving me strange requests.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah, they've been giving me strange requests for potions, so I don't know what they're doing in there, but I do know that they're concerned about wounds that aren't exactly healing potion worthy.
Cool.
Thank you for your absolutely Steve. So thank you very much for that and being so helpful.
This is no problem. Pleasure doing business with all of you. You're all a bunch of lovely people. The furbolg over there is a little disconcerting, especially his giant dog outside. It's a little terrifying, but I appreciate all of you.
Oh, that's not a dog. That's a dire wolf.
Yeah, I know. It's still terrifying.
Don't worry. He has never eaten a
Snuggle bunny. He's a snuggle bunny. If you get cold in the middle of the night, you just snuggle up to him. Nice. Just like belly area.
You have got a bad connection, or I do, but you're cutting out real bad on my side.
Yeah,
Yes,
me
good
too.
No, it's his connection.
It's the common occurrence. So, what did you guys do?
Might be a good idea to take a fucking break. Not a break in game, outside again, but I mean like a short rest. And then, I guess, figure out how we're going to breathe underwater or part the way of the water and then see where we can go from there.
A short rest. We haven't expended any resources, have we?
No.
We should probably talk to the healers.
I mean, I'll throw out two things. One, if we took a long rest, I could prepare good berries. That was something we were interested in, given these warming potions.
And I need a long rest to prepare control water.
And then two, either way, I still think we probably ought to find some more rations too, because I can only make so many good berries.
Yeah. Yeah, 40 good berries is only going to get us so far.
Well, and I don't know that I want to waste literally all of my first level spell slots.
Yeah, and you got to eat a good berry every 15 minutes.
I thought it was half hour.
Oh, yeah, sorry. So you got to eat a good berry every half an hour. And for anyone else who wants to extend the time, they have to eat a ration every 30 minutes.
It's not worth it. But we should buy some more rations, I guess.
Yeah.
How long are good berries good for?
I mean, they're good for 24 hours. So if we want to spend 2 days here, I could pump out 40 good berries, save them, and then get my spell slots back.
I was just going to go flirt with the druid and see if I could get some for free.
Ah, that's that too.
That's fair enough.
So you're gonna use the long rest for that?
No, let's go talk to the druids. There's several here, actually. I think that's a great idea. Let's see if we can't get some donations.
Okay.
Why don't we talk to the healers first?
Healers are the druids. I am assuming.
Yeah, I was about to say, are they?
Are they what?
Are the healers and the druids the same group?
No.
Okay. I'm gonna go find about getting more rations.
Okay. The general store has about 100 rations in check, but most of them are kind of sold off to other people right now. But they're just away. If you want to buy them, then you'll have to pay them at a higher price. So she's got 50 available at regular price, but if you go past that, she has to sell them at higher.
What is regular price?
5 silver.
5
5
silver?
silver per ration or for 10 rations?
Per ration.
Okay. If I pay her a gold per ration, can I get all of them?
If you're paying for all 100?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So I'll give her 10 platinum.
Okay. Okay, so she's like, oh, wow. Okay.
And I throw them all in my bag holding.
Dude, not even giving any of us an option to purchase any at all?
They're for the group.
Well, you didn't say that.
She's all whimsical now. She's like, oh, yeah.
That's why I bought 10 potions of warmth. It was for the group.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
It's not bad for everyone. It's bad for some people, though. So, where next?
Healers.
Okay, so you go to the small town church. It seconds as a blacksmithing shop because the clerics of this town are actually servants of Moradin. So most of them are dwarves, though there are some that are humans. The humans kind of just do the clergy work, while the dwarves do most of the smithing and the healing. And when you go in there, they mention the healers. They'll say, in the back, the right room, near the podium. And so you go back there and you throw back a curtain, and in the back opens up a bit more than most churches, at least most human churches. And on the left side is the forge. You can hear it. On the right side, there is the line of beds, and on a table they actually have a body of, unfortunately, a small child who was playing near the water. But they did manage to pull it out. Unfortunately, he is dead. And they're trying to figure out how he died. Or at least they're trying to figure out if it happens to somebody else, how they can heal them.
Oh, poor soul.
So the two healers look over to you. One of them is a human female. The other one's a dwarf. And the dwarf looks over to her and he says, you can return to your normal duties. I'll call upon your expertise later. And she walks through you guys and out of the healing wing. And he says, what can I do you for?
Well,
About 350.
Fair price.
we were planning to go into the lake to deal with this problem that seems to have arisen. While we were looking for whatever you might know, as we've gotten to know that you have been examining those that have suffered whatever is going on there, recovered some of the corpses like that of the poor child over there.
He shakes his head and he says, I've never seen wounds like this before. He says, in one way, their insides are completely torn apart. But I think they died from drowning first.
So they drowned and then something tore them up from the inside?
I think it's more like they drown and then they force, and then the water forces itself out. The druids think some sort of spirits in the water, and it's normally I'm not one for their paganism, but I can't argue with what they've been saying. It seems that there are spirits in the water, and they're either angry or confused.
If you ask me, from the little I heard when I was out there, it seemed like they were suffering almost. I don't know. It's like something might be affecting them, maybe that chaos mic or something. I don't know. Probably not the most adequate to talk about this myself.
What's the 29 Arcana for?
It says, did the water do that damage, or was it some other magical creature, or did a spellcaster do this damage?
I don't think an Arcana check would be a sufficient check. Maybe if you were there watching it happen, but the aftermath, I don't think that will help you much.
Okay.
This would be a hard medicine check.
Yeah. I am not a medicine person.
I think nobody here is. Maybe Karadok?
Yeah, not really.
I remember you did well like the other day, but maybe it was just a good roll.
Good roll. Yeah. I'm not proficient. I mean, I have high wisdom, so that helps, but actually, I don't have that high wisdom. So, no, I don't think there's really much I could do unless a nature check would help.
So he's listening to you guys talk to each other, and he says, I don't know what else you want me to tell you. It seems that these spirits seem to force their victims into the water. They force themselves into the victim's lungs until they drown. And then when they expel themselves outwards, it damages their body too much as they leave.
Is there anything you might, any information you think would be good to share, or maybe something that could help for if we are planning to go into the lake? Anything you know?
He says, I think going into the lake's a fool's errand, but I haven't talked with the others yet. This has been a relatively new problem for us. It's been about a week old. We've told everyone we thought a ship could get across. Ships could not get across. We tried manipulate by using other spells to walk across or get across undetected. It doesn't seem to work. However, we have not, I would say, unlike you six, or seven, we don't have really the accessibility that the UAG really has. So we haven't been able to really pool our efforts.
From your understanding of medical knowledge, could it be possible that when the water is leaving the lungs of the victims, that it is not water anymore, that it's ice?
He says, I have found ice in some of the bodies that we managed to, well, not save, clearly. But I always had assumed it was because it was just too cold. We do have ice that naturally forms, but I didn't, and I did see ice on their feet when we were pulling them out. I suspect that's part of the spirits as well, but the stuff that I find in their bodies, I think, is natural. I mean,
Okay.
it doesn't come out and attack me, so by Morden's beard, I hope it's natural.
Well, who knows really what's natural anymore?
He says the druids give me some speech about how everything's connected to nature in the end, and I call bollocks, but that's their way of living, and that's how they want to live, and it's working for them. Then I won't stop them.
Live and let live.
That'd be the case. I'm just a humble creator. I'm not out to destroy their livelihoods. You all plan on going into the lake?
That's the plan.
That's the plan.
Yeah, sounds like the only thing that's left to do if we want to actually do something about this.
Is there anybody else that we should speak to about this?
And he says, well, the rumor has it the gnome has a way of getting into the water. I don't know how much that's true, but he has a dwarven friend working on the way down in his workshop in the back. As far as that, I'm not quite sure if there's a way down there. If the gnome has a way of getting you down to wherever you need to go, if that is in fact what you need to do, then I could talk to our master and perhaps convince him to replicate the items that are needed to go down there.
That might be very handy.
This is, I don't know if they'll work, but it's seemingly the best shot.
Not like we have many better options, to be honest.
So let's just put a pin on this because there's a particular tabaxi who's going to hit on a human cleric of Morden right now. While you guys are talking about this.
What?
Oh shit. So, Mist, you kind of, everyone's heading into the healing wing. You notice this apparently hot female walking away, and you're like, back up.
Yep. Almost
And-
moonwalking.
And so you walk up beside her. What do you say?
How you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you. It could be better.
How can I make it better?
I mean, I don't think particularly you could help me. I was just about to head home.
Oh, I live nearby.
I live across town.
Alone?
No, well, sort of. I live with somebody else and share huts with someone.
Oh, so you're single.
I guess, yeah.
You want me to join you?
She says, not really, no.
Come on.
Alright, so some nearby dwarves are like, hey, she said no. And you
Okay.
see some dwarves hanging out near the dwarven workshop with some pipes, and they've been watching you for a little while now.
Okay. Are we gonna take the range yet after I solve this problem with the late?
She says, I don't think so. No.
Okay. And I'm gonna leave. She's a cunt. Okay.
Anyone
Okay.
knows? Anyone knows where he's missed? He was here a second ago. What he might be up to, I wonder.
Oh, I guarantee you, he's off chasing some tail.
Again? Land Thunder, damn it.
Eventually, he's going to get neutered.
Yeah, if he keeps trying to make me a part of his pride, that might be me that neuters him.
It wouldn't be his first character that's gotten punished.
And Miss probably come back now.
Okay, so you join for the half of the bit where they're talking about going back to the gnome shop and asking about what the dwarf is making back there. And talking to the head priest of Moradin to talking to the head priest of Moradin. So what's everyone want to do?
I would probably go over to the forge area. Maybe strike up a conversation with one of the dwarves there.
All right, so you go to, while everyone's kind of figuring out their next move, you go speak to the three dwarves. They're smoking their pipes and talking to each other. The human female has left the church already, and the three dwarves look over to you, and he says, "Hey, is that cat yours?"
Not particularly, no, but he is with our group, yeah.
He says,
He's for sale if you want him.
Okay, didn't realize there's two people talking to the three. He says, yeah, I don't want a stray walking around these parts. Especially if it's going to try to sleep with all of our women. That'd probably not be a great idea. Good way to get him killed.
Well, if he gets himself in trouble, then that's what he gets.
He says, you seem to know the ways that everything works around here. And kind of looking to Rev Jack and says, you know how us warriors and dwarves deal with things out in the wilds. We don't have much time for, the whole law and justice thing.
I understand. So, have you talked to one of your kin that's working with the alchemist about what he's been thinking about constructing to get down there to the bottom of the lake, by any chance?
They say no. He's been keeping it to himself. We asked him what he was working on. And he says you can talk about it. He's getting paid well though.
Yeah.
He says that gnome's the only alchemist shop in town. He's making a lot of money. That seems to be equally going into this pet project of his. Not that he can't afford it.
Aye.
He says, I'll just be glad that gnome actually puts back into the community. The last shopkeeper like that hoarded all his money. Some
Well,
kook of a wizard.
Yeah. He nods his head. What are you guys working on?
Simple weapons, armor. We ship we ship what we make over to the smithy. The smithy out there doesn't really do much smithing. He's an old human. He knows what he's doing over there. Not as good as our stuff though.
Ah.
But he mostly just sells the stuff.
Oh, that works.
Is there any stuff around the smith shop that's waiting to be repaired?
This is no. We keep our stuff
Okay.
top notch. We stop by at everyone. We actually have a group of acolytes that goes around town and mends anything that needs mending, repairs anything that needs fixing. We keep this town in top shape.
Good dwarven shape.
This is It's nice and sturdy. The only thing that will knock these houses down is a bloody dragon crashing into them.
I give you good odds.
Too loud. You don't want to say that too loud.
He says, "I'm pretty confident. We have the dragon. No, sorry. We have the giant slayers in the town. We also have one of them is a dragon slayer, and then we do have that gold dragon that flies around just south of us.
Oh, I've met him before.
We haven't seen it. We haven't spoken to him before, but he has visited this town from time to time. He doesn't ever speak to us though. He's always accompanied by two Coyotl who fly around with him. They seem to be the ones that pay attention for him.
Aye. They're goodly.
And he says, "Well, damn straight. He's been in here in the last, I think it was year or so. 3 of these black dragons were flying through the sky, and him and his Coyotl and his someone riding them has taken everyone that's shown up, and the orc problem has been quelled because of them. So the other furbolgs in this area are actually getting to settle down for a change rather than always fighting with the orcs."
There's a spell I want to try in ritual cast.
Okay. What's that?
I want to try and ritual cast contact another plane.
Okay. What plane do you want to contact?
The ethereal plane.
Okay. What's that spell in Player's Handbook?
Yeah, I think so. The 5th level divination spell. I can contact a demigod, the spirit of a long dead sage, or some other mysterious entity from another plane.
Do you have a particular one that you're looking for?
I want to try and contact the wizard that built the temple down there.
He's not. The spell's gonna fail if that's who you're looking to speak to.
Or some sort of entity that would have knowledge of that.
It's actually pretty good. So you're kind of peering into the ethereal realm. Where are you doing this? Inside the church or just out near the docks?
Inside the church, because I'm probably going to need their help if things go wrong.
Things are about to go fucking horribly wrong. So you're...
Luckily, I have a very good intelligence save, so...
especially for Sneer.
Okay, so you're performing this ritual,
Yeah.
and you finish the spell, and I'm gonna actually nah, I'm not gonna do that. You make contact. The closest outsider in the area is actually an Afridi. And when you make contact with the ethereal plane, he is there.
Okay.
And he says, "It's been a while since I've spoken to a mortal. What would you ask of me?"
You know of the Aquamarine Chaos Shards.
I am well aware of its presence, and I also know where it is. For I am the one who built its temple, and also housed the very creature that asked me to put him there. Those were his wishes.
What is the creature that protects the shard?
He says he is no longer a man. He gave up his frail body ages ago, or at least the ages for men. He has given himself a crystalline body that flows with the presence of water. The crystal powers his own form. The two objects, himself and the shard, now share a symbiotic relationship. However, he has run low on materials.
Is there? How do we defeat him?
He says he is a mage like any other, but unlike many other mages that live on the surface, he has access to much more powerful defenses and means of imitating life in fashions that extends beyond mortal comprehension. He has grown to understand the madness that is the chaos in the Aquamarine Shard, and he is using it to its full potential.
Is he able to be defeated?
Says, yes, he is still mortal, even in his new form.
If we go down there, would we freeze to death?
Let me just look up his saving throws. He says, even if you went in there fully prepared with the water breathing spell, the water would still choke you to death. It certainly allows you to breathe in the water, but once the water breaks it through your spell and forces itself down your lungs, you can still breathe it, but it will not prevent you from it choking you to death.
I think that was 5 questions. I only get 5.
The spell still continues.
Mm. How do we? Is the only way to stop that is to manipulate the water so we walk on dry land?
He gives you a toothy grin, and he says, "Your bindings are over now. And now you play my game."
If Oral's standing beside me, I rolled a 24 intelligence save.
He's not. He's just extending the spell. He just says, I will grant you the ability that I granted this mage long ago. 3 wishes.
For what cost?
He says the costs will be in your own wording. This is a game of cunning now. Your words will decide what happens next. I would think that if anyone was observing this ritual right now, I would think that people would start realizing that something's kind of going awry. Yeah, I would say Throax close enough. You can't. I don't think the contact spell lets anyone else see him or hear him. So it's yeah. So
will we notice that even if we are not really into Arcana?
I would say that if you have a casting potential, you would sense that the spell is being withheld from ending by an alternative source that isn't Adern. So something's going wrong with the spell, but anyone outside of it wouldn't really know. Obviously, the only thing that you really have as clues is whatever Adern says, since you can't hear what the Afridi says. Spells are fun.
Does Adrin look distressed?
A little.
Uh-oh.
I'm not the best with wording. He's kind of
Oral's
a brash kind of person, so
Oral's going to slap Patrick and as an instinctive reaction with his gun.
Okay, you slap Adren.
Yeah.
It never works. Why it never works?
I wish for all the previous wishes you have granted to become null and void.
He says,
holy shit.
He says, well, that's one wasted wish. He doesn't do anything. He says, your next wish.
Okay, he's wishing for things. Contacted another wishing for things.
Yeah, it doesn't seem good, if you ask me. I wonder what kind of creature is he parlaying into that it's able to give wishes. Well, at least pretends to.
I mean, demigods, there's a number of celestials that could guess that could grant wishes. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that he could have contacted that could be granting him wishes.
If Throak used telepathic bonds, would he be able to join the conversation?
Spell does.
For 1 hour, you can join mine telepathically with 8
Oh, wait!
characters.
I actually have an idea.
No,
What
it just
happens
allows him to talk to you. You guys can talk to each other at any time. I don't think the spell prevents you from conversing with other creatures.
Okay.
Adrian, do you
So
want...
I can still talk with other people?
Yeah.
Oral's going I was going to say to Adrian, do you want help ending the spell?
I'm talking with an Ifrit. He's offering me wishes, and I don't know what to do. Because if I word things badly, things will go badly.
As for more females for me, more mates. Thanks.
Whatever, don't do that.
Adrian, if you don't care, just wish that Mist's pecker falls off.
Yeah, actually, what does Oral know
Nice.
about the Fritz? Because he knows. I think he kind of knows about outsiders, doesn't he?
I would say that's an Arcana check, not a religion check.
Yeah, Oral's outsider guy.
I rolled a 2. No.
Shit.
Hey guys,
So,
sorry, I'm
Oral.
know what I learned?
Drop.
Oral.
Going too well.
Okay, so where's my initiative order? So Red Jack, do you want to say anything or do anything about this? Or
So
can you?
I guess I'm hearing all the conversation.
Yeah, everyone's getting a little distressed. Okay.
Why don't you?
Sorry to hear that. See you later, Eric.
Huh? Oh shit.
He's not feeling good.
Oh man. Why don't you ask him to grant us the ability to survive in the water and take him out,
Because
and deny the ability of the water to drown us.
because it's not the water, it's the wizard. He's melded with the water, and the water the water itself will act as tendrils and strangle us.
Okay. Why don't you ask for an anti-magic shell to surround the wizard and capture him or imprison him? Then all the effects would dissipate because his magic wouldn't be flowing out. Doesn't affect us. It affects him specifically. And if he's if he's already in a symbiosis with it, if you encapsulate, you imprison him in an anti-magic cell, then he can't do anything because all of his shit is magic, and he's drawing all his power from the shard. That's an idea.
Yeah. But I have to word it in a way that that'll be precise and can't be twisted.
I wish that the wizard and the shard that are in symbiosis would be encapsulated or imprisoned in a anti-magic shell that he cannot escape from.
Is it possible to use that?
So you just repeat what he says.
Yep.
He says, "You may not like the consequences." Wish granted. The wizard that is under the water, or supposedly under the water, is in an anti-magic field, and so is the Chaos Gem.
Is it a personal anti-magic field or just a permanent anti-magic field?
It's a permanent anti-magic field. It's 10 feet around him, and it's 10 feet around the gem.
Okay, then the next wish would be I wish for the ability to remove the permanent anti-magic shell and draw all the power from the wizard in whenever I say so. I'm giving that suggestion to Adrian. I'm not actually saying the wish. I'm saying here's an idea. Without any consequences.
Mist has not got a horrible idea.
Yeah.
As much as it pains me to say it.
Yeah, but where does all that water go? See? Remove all the water from the lake and transfer it to the ocean.
You could just summon the shard here and him along with it, and we fight him on dry land.
Isn't that funny that you mentioned that?
Does the
probably need to be out of the city first, but yeah.
You could transport us, the wizard, and the shard to a desert.
To Illumina.
Near
Illumina. Yeah, so we don't need to teleport home. Yay.
Yeah. No need to teleport home. Poof, we're there.
We bring. If the elemental doesn't rain on Illumina, we bring it with us.
Your friends have a lot of suggestions, but nothing too useful.
So the Fritos hear us, even though we don't hear it.
Why don't you wish for the Chaos Shard to be separated from him and appear in your hand?
I wish for you to never grant any more wishes in the future.
I can't grant that wish. Nice try, though. You do know I can keep you here for as long as I like, right? It's okay. I'm sure you don't need to see the material plane. You'll eventually fade in here like I did. Just 2 measly wishes. How hard does this have to be? You don't have anything that you need to ever done? Is this mission really that important to you?
We could just from the world, right?
You could what?
I said we could just wish to remove all chaos magic from the world.
No, because it's the same. He can't remove. By doing that, he would have to remove magic from the world, and he can't do that. I mean, he'd have to kill himself to do it. He could do it, but he's not interested in killing himself.
We could wish that he would give us the perfect wish to ask without any consequences.
You know, there is a perfect wish. You won't like it.
There's a lot of things I don't like.
Ways of
Probably don't
coping,
want.
though, that
You probably don't want to wish that you were dead, though. But man, wouldn't that save us a lot of time? Alright, I'm talking to an elf. They're not funny.
How about us, the gem, and the wizard 3 miles south of town? And we'd all be in the same area, and we could do battle there without destroying the town.
Adrian.
So many problems. So little time. Didn't they already forget their first wish? What can you do?
Adrian, do you really want to wish something else and risk the consequences, or do you want to
He
get
can't
back?
not wish. He's literally being held against his will now.
Well, Oral might be able to help.
What do you got, Will?
Oral, he's gonna try it. He's going to touch Adrian, like holding him by the shoulder or whatever, and he's going to use his cleansing touch.
He's removed of any curse or disease.
No, cleansing
Yeah.
touch, nor divine, nor the other thing, the lay on hands. Cleansing touch. Beginning at 14th level, you can use your action to end one spell on yourself or on one willing creature that you touch.
Okay.
Does the spell end?
No. Because he's just going to keep using it on you.
Yeah.
God damn it. I can use it again. Who has more uses, him or me?
He says, people just wish for small things too, trinkets. The ability of flight's always fun.
How about the ability? How about resistance or immunity to all the powers that the wizard and the shard have at hand, so that we can battle them without consequences?
Yeah, it always works without consequences, man. That guy with the skull on his head.
Yeah, actually, cool. He kind of cast. I had to say this, but I mean, maybe the fleet has a point. You wish for something simpler, it's less likely to go astray.
Wish for a hot female, man.
You can wish for my hair to go back to its natural blonde color and not be black like this anymore. We got the growing out blonde, but the rest of it's black. I look like an idiot.
Yeah. You only think about himself, Adrian. He don't help you.
I wish for a Throax hair color to return to its natural color.
There we go.
Ooh, man. That was a tough one. You did it, Elf. You wished for something. Let me grant it to you.
Oh my god.
And Throax hair is all gray now.
I said...
Fair enough.
He says, yeah, it's natural. It'll come around again when he's somewhere around 300. Man, that does look good.
Gray hair. I don't have. I think so.
It looks kind of fitting on him. I could have gave him no hair.
I thought you could.
He says, just imagine how many dwarf ladies he's going to get with that. Or
oh yeah.
Are they also men? I've always had difficulty trouble. They all have beards and hair. It's weird.
Right, isn't it? It's
Anyways.
hard at times to differentiate.
You have one more wish. See, a nice simple wish. Didn't go that far off. You got somebody's natural hair color back. And hey, you put anti-magic fields on the gem and the wizard. I'm sure nothing will go wrong from that incident.
Walk outside, the water's walking around.
I'm sure nothing will affect that issue at all.
I love how they've doing fucking around for 3 hours. I haven't advanced anything on solving the problem itself.
Well, I mean, you could have just jumped in the water, got strangled by it, and then died. Sure, that would have been an advancement enough.
Well, not to be super greedy, but you could wish my intelligence to be higher by like a factor of 5.
Impossible.
Nobody bears such power.
You'll love it when your friends are greedy.
I just want a few more mates.
I also like how they somehow hear me when I'm in another dimension and respond to me.
Juba is nowhere around.
You could wish for a tome of clear thought. You've been looking for one of those, haven't you?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Oh, wish for UAD get a new name branded. How hard is to wish? Just say something, dude.
I wish for a bag of 100 gold to appear at my feet.
At your feet. Okay. He
I'm
says,
gonna walk away.
this part you're not gonna like. And you're going to lose your toes as 100 golden statues crash through the building and land on your
Holy fuck.
I somehow knew this was going to happen.
There is 100 golden statues now breaking through the ceiling and landing on everything around. In particularly, they have to land on Adrin's toes. So he is going to, by default, take 3 points of damage and lose all his toes. But everyone else make dexterity saves.
Oh, amazing.
You know this.
Well, I guess everybody's close enough to get a bonus at least.
I got a dirty 20.
Oh.
Put your totals in the chat.
What's the bonus from Javier?
It's plus
Roll,
5.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
Plus
I got a plus 5? Oh, in that
Yes.
case,
22, baby.
Is this considered magic?
Yes.
Ah, yes. Oh, wait.
It's not magic damage, so you don't get the resistance.
No, but I mean the effect. It's considered magic. For the same.
Actually, no, I'm not going to say
Okay.
magic. It's not
Okay.
magic.
Just statues that fall down, right?
It's just buildings. It's just the building falling down, and obviously the fucking 100 golden statues.
Is that
It's raining statues.
is the golden statues? Is that gods or is that just native woman or?
There are a
I
bunch
was
of
eaten by
statues.
shorthand.
It's a bunch of statues of the Ifrit in various poses.
That's amazing. I was going to say it was statues of him. That's great.
Are any of the
All right.
statues not overtly sexual?
Some of them are, but most of them aren't.
Damn it, Orl's the only one that got a crappy deck save. Oh, good old times.
How big are the statues?
No,
Some of the
I only have a +2. I just got a good roll.
they are about, each statue is about 15 feet tall.
Oh, shit.
Each one of them weighs about 200 pounds, and they are all misshapen because obviously the Afridi is putting himself in different poses, and they're all kind of clashing together for the most part.
Yes.
So if you rolled higher than a 17, you're going to take half. So the damage is 52 bludgeoning.
Oh!
And half is 26. So
Ouch, that hurt.
and
The toes can be regenerated.
so
Thorax going to
On top
put
of
his
that-
arcane ward on Eridan.
on top of that, everyone, even if you made the save or not, everyone is pinned.
Can I ration, jump over, and lay over Sun?
Sure, but you will take full damage.
So we are kind of like sepulted below all these statues.
Yes, all of these statues.
How much would you say that one of these statues weighs?
200
I will
pounds.
I would say 300 pounds.
Oh well, I guess then Oral can free himself with a bit of effort.
Well, there's 100 of these things on top of you guys, as well as rubble from the building.
Well, but I assume they are not like you aren't going to have like all the weight on each one of us. Yeah, because it will kind of
Is the
divide
spell
itself.
ended?
So the spell ends, and with that, one of the statues that you're kind of pinned under, its face will look over to you, and it'll say to you, "Now, wasn't that so fun? You should have seen the look on your face." And then it reverts back to normal, and the statue loses its magical presence.
So we
As
do not.
as one last insult to injury, on top of, you notice that one of the a gold chip from his teeth when he's shaping back kind of scrape off, and you notice that underneath the statues are only gold coated. They're all made of stone.
Great. I love it.
Oh, really good wrist there.
Okay, so we are fucking pinned down.
So you could scrape all the statues for their gold, and it might be worth something. But it's mostly just this huge mass of stone weighing on top of you guys. And you're all pinned, as well as some of the dwarves who are actually just dead.
You just made a temple out of these stones.
But why would you want to?
Because we have it.
Oral.
Okay,
No.
I see a problem with you, Mist. Just because you have something doesn't mean you should do stuff with it.
Yeah, if you have a penis, you need to do stuff with it.
Oh my fuck.
All right. So you guys are pinned underneath this rubble. I doubt any of you are going to be able to move 1,500 pounds.
I don't know, try to raid.
I mean, Oral can push technically up to 3,600 pounds.
Did you see?
Yeah, but
but you're
it's-
also pinned. So
yeah,
you're
you
lying
need
on
to
the ground.
stand up to do that.
I mean, he can try to free himself first, I guess.
I'll say you can dislodge yourself. Yeah.
Or, I mean, if he can always cast a spell to get out at least.
Yeah. So you can dislodge yourself. That's what I'm saying. You can push yourself out of the statues, but you won't be able to lift the statues out. You can start taking the statues out one by one.
Yeah, I guess he will do that because, like, with all the rope he has.
Okay, so you dislodge yourself and you climb out, and people are like, "Oh my God, what's happened? What's going on?" And you just pick up these giant Afridi statues and moving them outside. And people are like, "What is it? Golden statues?" And then they start they realize that between you picking them up and scraping on your gauntlets, they realize it's just gold coating, and they're like, "What the heck? Who would do this?" And they run over and they start helping you move statues out to try to get everyone out. It takes you.
I'll help him dislodge myself and help him do that.
Yeah, so it takes about
Same
20
here.
minutes. It takes about 20 minutes for you guys to rescue yourselves from this. Essentially, it's minor calamity.
Yes, but where's the bag?
I knew this wasn't a good idea all along.
What bag?
The wording was a bag of 100 gold, which I meant 100 gold pieces,
Oh,
coins.
there's a bag on the last statue. It's kind of clutched in the statue's hands. It's not even a reasonably sized backpack. It's just a small coin purse. Something you'd expect like a little kid to snatch off the streets or something.
Does it happen to be a bag of holding?
No. It is also filled with rocks.
Well, I was trying to see if there was some redeemable thing about this wish.
A bed of devouring, maybe?
I'll return and check it. Oh, sure.
So several people died, and now a temple was crashed down, and now we have a great collection of Efreeti statues. Amazing.
I mean, they're all fine pieces of artwork. A little damaged now, but you could sell them if you could somehow transport them.
We are not interested in finding statues. This was a bad idea all along.
All right. So, you guys eventually remove all the statues.
And I told them all the information I got about the wizard and how if we go in the water, it will choke us.
All right. Do you guys talk about it outside?
Yeah.
Would anyone be kind of not paying attention to the statues and kind of just looking around?
I'm going to the inn with Sun and resting.
Okay. So everyone's moving statues. He just fucks off. Goes to the end.
Hey,
I'm going to drink a potion so my toes, so my feet stop bleeding.
I'll yell at Mist. Hey, get your ass over here and help us.
The high priest is like, "What's going on?" And he sees your toes ripped off, and he's like, "That's a minor issue, but he says it's easily done." He casts regenerate on you, and he's like, "Oh, I didn't want to
you
use
have
these."
a few of your own to take care of.
He says yes, and unfortunately, I will have to save them. But it's gonna hurt my wallet books. I don't know where these statues came from. But
I blame him and I point to one of the statues.
I can pay for whatever the cost is. I mean, I have some diamonds myself, but I don't think are gonna be enough for your the magic you're gonna need here. But I can give you at least the money if it's necessary.
It says, well, I need at least 3 diamonds, each worth 500 gold. So if you happen to be carrying these on you, then that would be a huge boon for my church.
No, but I think my diamonds are cheaper than that. I have 3 exactly, but I think are the cheaper version. Let me check.
They
One
make you
second.
revivify diamonds.
Yeah, because it's the spell Oral can cast. So I
Okay,
think they're
so-
only like 300. But I mean, he can give the money so he can restock afterwards, maybe.
Okay, so you give him the gold, and he says, "Well, thank you." Then he runs to his own store of supplies, and he resurrects his flattened acolytes. It's kind of a gross scene. Like the one statue landed on him so perfectly that you couldn't actually pull the body off the statue. Like they had to carry him out like that.
Did we at least set the statue on its side so the dude wasn't sitting under the statue when he was revived?
No, you have to actually flip it up because it's imprinted in his chest.
Oh, okay.
So once you guys plan on resurrecting him, you pull it. The priests pull it out, and they're like, "Oh my god!" And it's just this bloody mess for those 3, not for you guys. So,
Well, this has been worse than the training. Damn it, 3D.
so who's looking at the lake?
I'll look at the lake.
As will I.
So, this one was a kind of comical consequence. It wasn't too bad. However, with the wish of putting anti-magic on the wizard and the gem, you look over to the lake and you see that it's frozen over, but it's also steaming.
Frozen and steaming?
That's a
What?
contradiction.
Do you guys go to the lake to investigate?
Yep.
Yeah, I'll go do
Yeah,
it.
we'll probably get closer.
Okay. You start getting closer, and as within, I would say, the 30 minutes that you are heading towards it, it seems to return back to normal, and you notice that the water is back.
So it's not frozen anymore?
Nope.
Okay.
Does it look any different from before?
It looks like water. It's waving like it was when you arrived. It kind of looks a lot like ocean water. It's not like bright and sandy. It still looks like lake water, but its waves look like it's getting hit by lots of winds, but there's no wind around.
Are
Ruffled.
Throwak and Revjack still under the
I'm
water
no.
breathing? Under the effect
Yeah,
of
we
water
still have
breathing.
water breathing.
Yep.
When I cast it, I would have cast it so that everybody had it. It's kind of worthless to just cast it on 2 of us. I would have tried to cast it on everybody.
Yeah, you get 10 creatures anyway.
2
Okay.
people. Only 2 of us are allowed to go. Fuck the rest of you.
Yeah.
It's our loot.
Exactly.
All right. So this water is nice and flowing. Seems to be good. Who's anyone
Is
looking
it
into
saying
the water? No, it's not saying anything.
Is it saying anything in Primordial?
In Primordial, all you hear is screaming. It's a lot more pained. It's a lot more angry. It's a lot more frustrated.
Oral will probably kind of walk to the edge and look down into the water, kind of, I don't know, hearing the screaming and all.
Roll me a perception check.
Ooh, 11.
You don't notice shit. At least you notice that the water is moving in an irregular pattern, especially since it's not windy and the water is moving like it is windy. You're not really sure what's going on, And the other thing is, the other more important thing that you don't see is something I can't tell you. So
I got a 19 on perception.
okay, that's actually enough. So you're looking in, and you notice that none of the fish are moving.
Are they upside down?
No. It looks like they were swimming, but they have stopped moving.
Okay.
But they,
How
You
close
should-
is the closest fish?
It's 10 feet under the water. So
But,
the dock is 10 feet, then you touch the water, and then you go another 10 feet. So 20 feet.
I have a question. Even I mean, Oral doesn't see this, but you say they are moving, but the water itself is moving. So do they move with the water, or do they stay in place?
They
Whatever.
stay in place.
Okay.
You see them kind of like bobbing like they normally would, but they can't move. It seems like with the little wiggle space that they do have, they're like fidgeting, but they can't
Yeah.
move. They
Okay.
can't. They're trying to swim, but it looks like they're stuck.
Yeah,
I'm
I
gonna-
think I picture what you're trying to.
I'm gonna touch the water with
Portray.
my sword.
Okay. You make me a simple athletics check.
I got a 16.
So it kind of catches you off guard. You point the sword to the water, and when the water hits your sword, it's actually a solid surface. And it pushes your sword a bit, and you almost lose your grip, but you keep a hold of your sword.
As if it's like,
As if it was a spear
Jello?
hitting your
oh,
Just to verify that this is the same, if I notice what happened, I'm going to shoot an arrow 600 feet out into the lake and see what happens.
The lake, again, is not producing any wind. So you shoot the arrow out. It's not obstructed by anything. And it lands on the lake and snaps in half and bounces, and it starts getting knocked around. You can actually hear clacking from the arrow rolling. Clack, 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 clack. As it's getting kind of taken away.
we
So-
just made it worse.
It's like if the lake is not frozen, but it's like solid somehow. This is really weird.
We're so fucked.
We're going to have to freaking hire a drill to get down there.
Okay, so I want to attack the water just to see what the effects is going to be.
Okay.
Can we make an attack roll or just
Damage. Just straight up damage.
all right?
I hope you wouldn't miss a lake.
I hope I wouldn't either.
Rev Jack, you would miss a lake if you fell out of the boat.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to use the great weapon feat also. Let's see. It's 10, 19, 29. All right. Let's see. It's 10, 20, 31, 36, 39. So 68 points of damage.
What, what the fuck? 68 points?
Tell me how you're attacking the water. Because in order
I'm-
for you to attack the water, you'd have to be standing on it.
Well, I was figuring doing like an overhand chop, so that way the length of the blade just kind of taps it or comes down on like on a smash, and I can keep my feet on the ground.
Okay. So you jump onto the water, and it's a pretty wicked ride. It's like you're standing on stone, and it's rolling around underneath you. You take a huge, heavy chop into this water. This is what it looks like, and your blade slices into it. And I need you to make an athletics check. And this time, it's going to be really hard.
All right.
Can I give him advantage?
With inspiration?
Yes.
Go ahead.
All right. So first one is a 20. And next one comes out to a 17.
So you slam your sword into the water, and it actually gets stuck to your surprise. And while you're riding the waves, trying to pull the sword out, a rogue wave hits you and knocks you over, and your sword starts literally getting pulled away from you. It is now riding the waves.
All right. I'll get back on the land and recall
Big
it.
B's magic hand.
No, I just recall it.
You can call it to him.
Oh, okay.
I'll get back on the regular land and just call it back to me.
Okay, it just disperses into energy and appears back in your hand in a puff of light. So that's a thing.
So, yeah. So, looking at the map the gnome gave us, is there, or did I misunderstand him, that the temple was under the water, but the tunnel stretched under the land?
Yeah. So in the lake, according to the map, you go about 300 feet out. You go about 2,000 feet down. And there's a cove that goes under. The lake comes down like this. And then it makes this sort of cove underneath it, like a tunnel. And the water goes in there. And that's where you're supposed to go in from. So that it doesn't like come up and then there's land. It is just goes straight to the temple.
Okay.
Based on everything that's happened so far, it seems that the wizard summoned this Ifriti here, used his 2 wishes very meticulously, like he took a long time to make his wish, and got all the designs ready for it, made his 2 wishes, and then his 3rd wish was to bind it to this place.
Okay.
Just as a sort of ultimate fuck you to the Ifriti.
Guys, I probably have already pushed the limits of my 8 intelligence, so somebody else is going to have to come up with some bright ideas.
As you guys are standing there, you are noticing this fog roll over the water.
Okay. Does it have a different look to it, or is it just a regular fog?
It's actually a nice, like it's a fog made from the water being too cold. So the lake is now freezing, but it's not turning to ice.
So it was steaming first, now it's freezing. What's going on here?
Welcome to chaos.
Oral's going to try something. He's going to take out a shovel and try kind of to get pieces of the water out of the lake.
Pushing that 10 intelligence. It's like that one meme.
It's a desperate measure, but it's like, I don't know what is shit to do.
Is she gonna pull out the drill? Is she gonna ask for help? Or is she gonna do something so intelligent we can't put it in the menu here? Pulls out a hammer and starts hitting that drill.
Okay, just for shits and giggles, and since I'm not too bright, I'm going to go back up to the Ifrit statues, and the one that was holding the bag at the last, I'm just going to walk up and peck on it and say, "Can I make a deal?"
You kind of notice you've never experienced this before, I don't think. So you notice that the world goes dark and people start vanishing from your view, and the statue turns into this kind of large, bulky looking man with dark red skin and flames across his arms and shoulders and head. And he says, "You've piqued my interest."
You're kind of cute.
It's not often I get complimented.
So, how do you normally make deals, just so I can prepare, for what I'm getting myself into?
I am, in essence, bro. Notice you don't really know what you're getting in your head into. So let me put it in simple terms. I grant 3 wishes, like my other degenerate brothers and sisters. And I can grant even more powerful wishes than them. But as you've noticed, I like to have my own sense of fun too. Granting wishes is all good and noble, but immortality is boring if you don't make it interesting. So, I might play a few games with you here and there. The one wish with a lake was something I did not do for fun. I granted that. I knew what would happen. I think that's punishment enough.
Well, you got to be super smart.
He says we don't live this long to be dumb.
Yeah, I guess it's a good thing I won't live that long then.
A blessing and a curse. Ignorance is bliss, after all.
So, 3 wishes. Good,
And I'm not like any of your other degens. As soon as you start making wishes, we finish making wishes. I may be bound to this silly town, but I have other things to do as well. More like comedy to watch. These villages are really stupid.
The
fighting is interesting.
Well, that's true. If I, just as a question, if I theoretically were to offer a way for you to get out of this town, would you be able to grant a wish of that magnitude?
This demands more details. What did you have in mind? In order for me to break this spell, I need a wish to be made. And I'm willing to intrigue an idea of binding myself to something else.
Okay. As a payment for the 3 wishes, with you, me not being that smart, would you help me to choose the right wishes if I would let you bind yourself to me for 1 year per wish? And you could adventure along with me and travel the world.
Ooh. What an interesting prospect. And how should I mark you? Tattoo? Should that be a cursed item on your very body? Perhaps a piercing?
Well, I have one in the left nipple. I've got a chain in the right one that runs. Well, we won't talk about that. But yeah, you could totally take place of either one of those. I'd just have to reposition. It would be your choice, after all. But I would assume you would want something that would be more open and visible. Maybe a circlet that I would have to wear.
How about a nose ring?
I know you UAG members are in the presence of lawful essences and baleful creatures of good. So, perhaps a less visible approach would be ideal.
Okay. Well, I am open to suggestions.
I have decided what I'm going to do. But that must be one of your wishes. Cannot break the magic any other way. But if you do that, I could consider being lenient on the other two.
Okay. I would wish for you to travel with me for no less than 3 years and enjoy any adventures that I find myself partaking in.
Very well. I will partake in this journey of yours. Just don't go dying on me. It'll be a very boring 3 years if you end up a corpse.
That is true. I will endeavor not to die. I will swear that.
And he says, it could be fun, though. I might try to convince the other wannabe wisher, next billionaire, to give me one of his wishes so I can punish you for such a curse. But we'll see. And he will take the form of a tattoo on your back.
Oh, great. I got a gin tramp stamp. Okay.
He will... Yeah, he doesn't want you revealing him all the time.
Well, don't worry. I'm, believe it or not, celibate, so...
We don't know this is happening, do we?
Nope.
Like the rest of us. Oh, great.
So...
Burn the Ifrit.
Free and unafraid. Yay. Mission accomplished.
I'm going to give you... So, this Ifriti has marked you. And I'm going to give you one of his abilities.
Oh, shit. Okay.
You're going to learn his attack, which is called Hurl Flame. It's a ranged spell attack. It reaches 120 feet. It will use your proficiency bonus and your charisma modifier for an attack.
Oh, God.
And it does 5d6 fire damage. The only downside is because you're not immune to fire, you're going to take half the damage because you're going to burn yourself with it.
Okay.
It doesn't require any components or anything, so you can use it at any time. And it's an attack. It's not a spell. So you can attack with it at any time.
If you don't mind, would you send that to me when you can get a chance?
Okay. I'll send you the attack that he has.
Yes, please.
And I'll actually just put it in here. And I'll add the other half to it.
What's your charisma?
It's 8.
Oh my god. No.
It's not the worst. You'll have to use it in a pinch, and it's a pretty long-range attack that does decent damage.
Yeah, I mean, the damage is good, but with an 8 charisma.
So
That's
he
going to
binds
be
himself to your
awful
back,
precision.
and it basically looks like this fireball aiming up towards your head. So the tail end of it is kind of down at your lower back, and it goes up and expands, and it leaves this whole middle piece that is kind of just empty, but it has the outline. So,
Okay.
perhaps if you show the Afridi favor, he might give you more abilities. Or at
Nice.
least entertain him.
Would I be able to actually have a conversation with him?
Yeah, you two can speak to each other telepathically.
Okay.
So you don't actually have to talk out loud. To his benefit, you can talk to him out loud if you want. He might pick it up. He's a smart dude. He just uses basic fruit stats. And they're pretty strong.
Awesome.
And he says, now, on to the fun part, hopefully. Your other 2 wishes.
Okay. First wish. I wish you would grant me the knowledge to be able to solve the current conundrum with the lake.
I can't. If we are to be traveling companions, so to speak, I will give you the benefit of telling you that your friend Adrian has doomed this mission from the start. The wizard down below was manipulating the Chaos Gem for his own benefit. He was the one controlling the gem's presence. But without him or the gem being able to control either of their own powers, the chaos is left to its own bidding. This lake, unless your wish is spent to undo his, is doomed. And eventually, all of its inhabitants will share the same fate.
In that case, I know exactly what I must do. I wish to undo Adrin's wish and return things to the way they were before the wish.
He says, oh, but I don't want to get rid of those statues.
I knew it.
Well, as entertainment, leave the statues.
Hey, you can feel an almost twisted grin on his face. He says, oh, thank you. And all the statues will gain a twisted grin as the Adrian's wish of the magic being inhibited is now removed. The wizard down below can now reassume control, and the lake now, instead of, while this conversation is happening, the lake loses its fog and it hardens into solid ice, and it seems to be flowing like it was normal. You guys don't know what to make of it, and it's steaming. It's steaming, flowing ice. Not really sure what that's about. But as you guys are kind of watching, like,
I think the subtle plan isn't working.
Oh, if you're still on there, you would fall into the water and you would start boiling.
Great.
So that's happening. I'm going to assume people, once they realize, hey, Oral just fell into the water and he's boiling alive, would probably help you out.
Probably.
I'm not going to make any saves or checks. So I'm assuming Big B's hands. Well, no. Or Ogre Schwann's hands.
That's right.
Ogre Schwann's?
This one
Levitate.
is creepy cut.
She likes your no look, by the way. And your third
My
wish,
girl.
if you want to use it.
My third wish, as you can probably tell from being a part of me at the moment, I lack in several areas, intelligence, wisdom, and I'm a little brash, so I don't mind that one so much.
Oh, isn't it fun to be immortal?
In an effort to help us adventure together over the next few years, is there a good way to word an increase in my intelligence or wisdom?
Oh, I don't know. The most obvious answer is, why don't you go to school?
Do you
Yeah,
want to sit in
magic
school
is-
for the next few years?
Hey, there's lots of potential deals to make there. Though I guess that would be awkward for them having to stare at your back for a long time.
Well, maybe
honest-
moving on.
I think that would be awkward for me. I'm reduced to a
So that's
tattoo.
almost guaranteed.
I'd probably incinerate them, actually. And now to think about it.
So it'll be more fun to travel, right?
Yeah, I think it will. To answer your question, though, I cannot create magic items in that way. I can move them to you. There's some items that I can move to you to help you. If you want, I could give you one of them. I think one of them is unoccupied by intelligent forces.
Okay.
Is that truly how do you want to use your last wish?
Yes. Can you grant me immunity to fire damage?
That is not what I was expecting, but interesting. No.
Okay. In that case, I would like you to, if it is not going to bring any detriment to the group, bring that magic item to me. That is my wish.
I'm sure the group doesn't need any more help than it already has. Very well. Wish granted. And he gives you, and in your hands materializes a headband of intellect.
All right.
It is not a typical headband. It is made of bone, but the rubies, the gemstones put into its head is compensates for the lack of metal.
It gives you an intelligence score of 19.
Hot damn.
Not that I don't trust you. If you don't mind, I will have it checked for curses first.
Oh, you think I would really curse myself with stupidity? I already binded myself to you. How much worse could this get?
I freaking love this, Ifrit.
Well, just think, we're going to be roaming around the city full of hundreds and hundreds of people, traveling across the globe.
And I would at least like you to be comprehensible.
Yes.
So don't expect that thing to be cursed.
All right. Can I insight check him?
Yeah, you're going to insight the tattoo that you can't really look at because it's on your back. Yeah, roll for insight. He's not trying to deceive you, but whatever.
19.
He's not lying.
All right. I put that shit on.
Okay, so you put it on this bone circlet. It actually fits quite well, strangely. And it's made of mostly rubies and sapphires with a diamond in the middle. And it feels actually very comfortable. And after you wear it for a little while, you actually start like noticing small details. You start remembering things that you didn't remember before, especially about topics that you might be more aware of, such as I would say for a fighter rogue, it would be more like more particular ways, like more organs to hit rather than just the kidney. Kidney's a good spot, but there's actually a heart and a brain and a spine and a knee to hit. So many spots to stab someone.
Damn, I didn't know I was so stupid.
Well, the common man's like, kidney shot.
All right, so at this point, I'll go back to the group and just play it off like nothing happened.
Hey, where did you get that circlet from?
I found it over in the statues.
Huh. Do you think you can trust that thing if it came from, well, those statues?
Oh, I'm not too bright, so we'll find out.
I like how that's just a guise now. It's like, I was stupid before I put it on. I'm still stupid now.
Well, they don't need to know what it is, so.
I think doesn't look typical. But. So as you guys are observing the lake now, it starts returning back to normal. Actually, it takes a lot longer than you'd expect, an hour. It starts cooling off. It starts freezing again, and it starts looking like it was when it came in here.
Does this count as a short rest?
I would say it counts as a fucking long rest. You guys would be waiting for a while before you guys would take any chances of jumping in the lake, I would hope. And Mist went inside to take a fucking rest, so...
This is getting very complicated.
So, you guys have discovered everything that you need to know to at least get down. You've made some mistakes but you've managed to rectify them. One of you has bound themselves to a fairly evil entity, and the others are unaware of it right now. And you guys are only missing one piece, which is how to get there without getting murdered by water.
We should probably go talk to the gnome and see what he had cooking in the back room.
Yeah, they say they had a way to get down there, but we never got to know because we got interrupted by raining statues.
Okay, so you guys go visit a gnome. The gnome, and he's like, "Oh, you're back. Did you hear about that incident at the church today?"
Yeah, it was really weird.
Yeah, it was weird. I wish I could have seen it. I mean, obviously, it sucks.
We could say that we kind of took the blunt of it.
I don't know why that was funny. What are you guys doing here? You guys need more potions? Do you need healing potions?
Well, we were told you might have a solution as to how to get down there. We've discovered that trying to sneak through the water will actually choke and kill you, even with you having water breathing.
Yeah. That was a concern of mine. A lot of people were complaining about it, so I've already told you too much already. Well, fair enough. So yeah, I do have a kind of experiment I need to conduct, but I only have one ready. And Gerard, can you bring it out? And the dwarf's like, 1 goddamn minute. About 10 minutes goes by, and he brings out like a big metal scuba helmet, like off of BioShock.
Yes.
And he's like, yeah, what do you want? He's like, just wanted to show them the prototype. It's like, oh, here it is. Airtight, hits it with his hammer. Says, nothing's going to break it. Or at least it's going to take a fucking bloody shark to get this thing open. And who heard of a shark in the water? At least in the ice lake. Gods. Said, I don't know why you needed it so sturdy. And he's like, water pressure, man. Water pressure. And he's like, you've been smoking too much of that stuff in your potions. But you pay me well enough, so whatever. It works.
Well, you know, the town does have a whole bunch of craftsmen that might be able to duplicate these in a quick enough fashion that we all might get to have one each.
And the dwarf, and Gerard, the dwarf, he says, well, yeah, we could get the other crafters son on this. This is my project. He may be paying for it, he may be making it get to it, and he may have all the scientific notes, but I have to build the damn thing. And I'm not going to have some goody two-shoes more than serving bootlickers to steal my hard work. Now, I got the prototype out. I'm going to bloody well test it. And if I don't come back, oh, fuck. I've ruined the whole thing, didn't I?
Quick question for the group. Does somebody know a spell that should he get down there and drown, we can yank the helmet back up here?
Ogre wants his hand.
I know how to intimidate him and give him to us.
I'm just going to say that the last person who intimidated my Pathfinder dwarf did not fucking end up very well.
Well, the man wants to test it. I say let him test it. Better his dead body in it than mine.
That will feel bad.
Actually,
That's a really smart idea.
he says, yeah, that's what I was thinking. Let's go. Let's go to the dock right now. You guys got chains? I saw you using them.
All right.
Yeah,
let's
man.
go.
I think we better do something to yank him out in case something goes wrong.
Yeah. Thanks, goody two shoes. That's why we have chains. Well, come on. We're going to need your apparently super muscular body over there. What the hell do you mean?
What have you called me?
Super muscular. And goody two shoes.
No, could be what?
Come on, Twinkle Toes. Bring your arms over here.
I like you, and I pinch him on the cheek.
And he says, God damn it, who let this woman in my shop? He's like, and the gnome's like, this isn't your shop. And he's like, looks around, he pulls up some goggles, and he's like, oh shit.
Yeah. Or we'll, as soon as they're over the leg, or yeah, we'll start kind of to tying the chain around him, getting him ready, like making sure it has like a probably two chains kind of interlocked together, so there's there's a good dragging point like in the middle where a rope or something can be attached to pull the middle of his back or something.
You guys basically do what he did when you guys went into the river, except you try it with the lake. And he does try to get pulled in, but with with basically Oral by himself. The water is trying to pull him in, but he lets it pull him in, and you guys let him go in the water because you need to chest the helmet. And you guys wait for a good minute or so. The chain isn't breaking, and you see just a firebolt get shot out of the water and into the air, and that's your cue to pull him out. And when you pull him out, you notice that the helmet hasn't taken any damage. It's a big burly thing. It's this big, sits on.
How about the dwarf?
Shoulders. The dwarf is.
Did the dwarf take any damage?
The dwarf is coughing, and he's like, "Holy shit, that was awesome." The water put up a good fight, but I wouldn't let it take me.
Well, gladly for you, it seems like your prototype works.
He says the helmet works. I'm going to need to put some sort of neck guard on there and put some sort of leather protection in there. That water, I don't know what it is about it. It just tries to creep up in you, tries to get in your mouth. It's like defying some sort of will. Going up, even when it should be falling. It's weird. But I'll fix it. I'll make sure it's airtight in that area too, and if you can get the Moradin boneheads to get around to helping me out, I should be able to make 6 more by the end of the week. Well,
let's go talk to the more.
Okay. So it doesn't take much. I'll just try to wrap things up. It's been 4 hours. So you guys return to the church, and it's taken a lot of damage. But the acolytes are alive now. They're a little sickly looking, obviously just being raised, and they're just resting in the beds. And the high priest, you mentioned that you've gathered a lot of information. You share enough with him to convince him this temple is where you need to go to stop this from happening. And he says, well, if that's what it takes, then I'll be right over there. And just to move things forward, you guys will have to live there for 6 days as the high priest and him are working on these helmets. And these things are pretty bulky, but with the 2 of them together, they managed to make a working helmet that should protect you from the strangling water as you descend into it. The only thing that I will have you take a note of is that when you're descending into the water, the helmet does not sink at the same rate that you do, so you will have to hold on to it. And it's important because if you don't, that could very well kill your character. So take note of that.
Could we
what do you mean
like
by hold?
Can we strap it to ourselves?
No, because the straps, they'll break. Because the water has shown that they try to break through things.
Okay.
It's just that chain is too tough for them. Too tough for the water.
Okay.
But it's also not good enough to strap yourself
hold
to.
on to it.
Yeah, so just basically hold it down because they will try to push it up on you.
Oh, okay, I think I was going to. Yeah, I think I understand what you mean. Okay.
So a total of 13 days has passed 7 days of travel. Basically, the 1 day to investigate, ask around, figure out what's going on, which you all did really well on. I wasn't expecting you guys to contact the Ifriti, but you actually ended up finding him. And you ended up talking to the gnome, which gave you some very valuable stuff. And the church is willing to help you. So you guys end up doing really well. You guys are going to earn 2 experience for all of your investigations.
Awesome.
And so, in our would use my hammer of mending to repair the boards in the church. Basically, put everything back together.
Okay.
Yeah, Oral will be probably helping getting the rubble out of the way, or maybe moving things around a bit. And for the rest of the day, probably praying for kind of guidance on what is to come.
Okay. So for Eridan, I'm going to give you 2 inspiration.
It's awesome.
And I'm going to give you a background trait. I'm actually going to give you 2. And one's going to be Ifriti Pact and Ifriti Bloodline.
You just cut out.
I'm going to give you're going to get 2 background traits.
Okay.
One is called Ifriti Pact. And what that will allow you to do is, even though you may not have the prerequisites to multi-class in the Warlock, you will be treated as if you did.
Oh.
So you are now viable to multi-class into Warlock. However, you will always take Pact of the Fiend. So if you decide to pact in the Warlock, you can take you have to take Pact of the Fiend. And the second one is a Ifriti Bloodline. And you'll take you'll always be available to take Sorcerer as a multi-class, even though you technically don't have the charisma for it. And if you multi-class into Sorcerer, you will become a divine soul of the Ifriti. So basically, when you take Sorcerer, you will gain a divine spark. That is the Ifriti imparting a portion of its power to you.
Wow. I'm going to have to create another character sheet because this is huge.
So, 2 experience for everyone, 2 inspiration for Eridan. And that's it for this game. The next act will be going into the Aquamarine Temple. I will post it up for Wednesday at 6, if that is a good time for everyone.
Yeah.
That should be fine.
Not really.
Well, how about
late, yeah.
Well, how about at 4?
Yes, much better.
At 4, yeah, at 4 we can work. I mean, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 4's fine for me.
So
my
okay, that's all right. I don't expect you guys to dive right immediately in. So with that, I'm going to stop the broadcast. So thank everyone for playing. Thank everyone for playing. I hope you guys had fun.
Yes, thank you for hosting, man. It's been a while.
I don't know if you
thanks.
guys like the webcam. The webcam is kind of a new thing, so I hope you guys like it.
Yeah, we enjoyed the hot side.
That's an inspiration point right there. And I'll see you guys in the next game.